You're listening to the Gamecasters.
Natalie, Jeff, and Ryan are the Gamecasters, and they do a board game show, inboxes, and nooks and games, and top 5 lists, and sometimes there's fart jokes.
Welcome back, you sacks of crap. It's time for us to yap, and hopefully you'll clap. Some of you might fap. You know, just give it that rat-a-tat-tat. That's fucking weird, though. Please stop that. Natalie will not like you if you are producing gua after giving it tua. So just take a number tua, calm right down. Don't stage a kua. I'm about done. You can all phew. Welcome back to another jaw-dropping, show-stopping, mind-boggling, full-throttling, dairy-curdling, throat-gurgling episode of the Gamecasters podcast.
That's like a classic intro if I ever heard
A
one.
show that makes about as much sense as a fever dream or a mushroom trip, but like both of those, the only way to make it stop is to wait it out. So I'm sorry about your luck, but for the next few hours, you're going to be in Willy Wonka's tunnel of psychosis, not knowing where we're going. I'm the host of this chocolate factory, Ryan, and with me is the eater of my chocolate factory, Natalie, and the health inspector trying to shut the place down so nobody has to endure my chocolate factory ever again, Jeff. See you guys.
Oh, man.
Natalie and I were in the throes of passion the other day.
What? Boy.
And in the middle of it, a thought occurred to me. How many times exactly have I mated in my life so far?
How many times have
That's
you
what
had
you
sex?
thought?
Yeah, I was like, I wonder
your
how
life.
many times in my entire life I've had sex.
He made me write down.
How many times you've had sex?
Mid-coitus.
He
Yeah.
made me, I like randomly found it in my notes. I was like, oh, you told me to write this down because he wanted to ask you how many times you had sex in your relationship.
Is that what we're going to talk about?
Yep, we're going to talk about that now.
We'll start it up, and then I'll
do you
do some
think
math.
you might be able to put a number to it? Can you do the
Are you
math?
talking about in your relationship or your life?
Your life.
In your life. Times you fucked in your life.
I've been engaging in the physical form of love since I was about 17.
Okay.
So that's 25 years of getting down with the sickness so far for me. The
Are you
first
gonna
few
talk-
years,
you're
I'm going to
talking-
talk it
I'm
out.
gonna calculate.
The first few
25
years, that's like the only fucking thing I did with my time for the first few years. I was also that guy who always had a girlfriend. I was never single for more than a few months at a time throughout those 25 years, which maybe I should have gotten to know myself a little better. Anyway, when me and my girlfriend at the time found out about, we only wanted to
found
do
out
that.
about
Sure.
it.
Okay.
So
What's
do
this?
it. We did.
Thing I found out
what's
about.
this? What's this? Go shave my pubic hair. All right. So we did it constantly. I did so much water sliding at the beginning of my sexual career. I estimated about 3 to 4 encounters per week
Okay.
for the first couple of
Good for
years.
you.
It sounds lofty, but I fucking wore that thing.
Good
out.
for you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
the beginning is
That's
when
when
you
you're doing
first
it.
start
You're doing it
having
like
sex.
crazy.
I mean,
it
yeah,
has
you're doing it like
since
crazy.
it has since slowed with a spike at the beginning of relationships and a dip toward the end. But after all the number crunching, I estimated about 3,800 sexings over the last 25 years. This is not counting self-love, hand or blow jays, in which case the number would likely be in the millions.
Are you talking about just penetration?
Yeah,
just penetration,
P and VG.
achieving
Yeah,
penetration.
Okay.
Yeah, P and the V,
Ooh,
okay. Oh, okay.
or P and the B.
Have you ever gotten like a halfway? You had to get interrupted.
halfway, how
by
do you
the
feel?
D. Yeah. You had to get interrupted by the D of your mom.
One time.
Okay, so that was a half. So you cut that out.
No, I was launching into a story.
okay.
Based on what you said. One time I was dating this girl and we were having one of the 3800s,
Yep.
probably
Okay.
in the first 100 of the 3800s, and her dad, who typically was like an old doddering kind of like slowpoke shuffler around the house kind of guy,
Shuffler, got it.
came down the staircase with the force of 1,000 waterfalls. While we were, and he came around the corner. We had no time. She hopped off me. Both of us have our pants literally
you were
pants
in
off.
You were in the living room?
No, we were in the basement.
Oh, you were in basement all the
So
way
he saw
downstairs.
your-
He
Yes.
came
Did you have a
all the way
blanket? You
down.
didn't, like,
Yeah, I had a
blanket
blanket
on top?
covering
Oh,
me.
okay.
But were your pants in view? Like he knew.
Oh yeah. Oh, he knew.
Did
oh
he
my god.
pretend like
knew.
he didn't know?
No.
Okay.
He came down and he just like stared at us, and he was like, "Huh."
Get your
And then he
dick
left.
out
And
of-
I was
okay.
like, I am surprised he did not pick me up
Yeah.
by the face, by the penis.
Yeah.
And like,
Goodbye.
you know,
Matilda?
like lasso me
Yeah,
with my
Matilda.
penis and like grab the girl as she was.
Trunchbull.
Anyway, that was a complete aside. But
But you didn't count that one in theory.
no, I didn't count that because I didn't finish.
What was your number? 30?
3,800. I have a spreadsheet.
Okay. Oh my god! Don't you fucking work? You guys have jobs.
Wait, so there's more
Yeah, I
than
know, I'm
just
just
work
kidding.
hours. But yeah, so I have a spreadsheet. What did I call this? Just the tip. Here we go. So from age 17 to age 41, I did days per week.
Okay.
And then, calculated days per year. And then boom, rang it up.
I did a quick math. You, since the day 17, you've had sex every 2.5 days. Because there's 9,121 days in 25 years.
That sounds wrong.
Okay.
That sounds not that your math is wrong. It sounds like I'm wrong.
Well, when you hit up, when you can get a nice day of 2 or 3.
Well, here's the thing. I've never had like a span of years without a girlfriend. Since
You're just
17
banging.
to now, I'm just fucking constantly.
Yeah.
And I mean, constant
25
fucking.
years times 365, 9,000.
Okay.
You divide that by your 3,800.
Okay.
And yeah, you get about 2.4
Sexings.
you sex every 2.4 days.
Okay. That seems lofty. Maybe I'm a little bit off on my math, but it's about that. So if I'm right there, Jeff, where do you think you are?
I can't be that high. That seems like that's a
lofty goal.
especially when I look at
guarantee
2.4.
I haven't had
Well, I'm
sex
younger
as
than
much
you.
as Ryan.
You're younger than me, correct?
My
It's only
life.
been about 21 years for you.
Yeah,
but when did you start having?
21 years for
Right.
me.
I was more
I was 17.
I was
You started at 17 as well? You were 19 when you lost your
your
card?
Yeah. So
The V card.
yeah, and you didn't count the Beegers.
No
are the
Beegers,
ages.
self-love, or HJs.
Okay, yeah, none of that. Okay.
Which
So,
again
yeah,
would spike the numbers
so,
wildly.
What, 19? That would give me.
But
how
P and
many?
the B counts if you've ever done that.
Yeah, that's penetration.
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 Yeah.
Well, P and the
So,
M is also
19,
penetration.
how old am I,
but I'm not
36?
counting those.
So I have 17.
Penetrating
I
the
only have
mouth orifice.
I have 17 years of doing it.
17 doing it years.
17 doing it.
Would you say at
years.
the beginning of your doing it journey, you did it a lot more?
Yeah, college room, and then getting in relationships. Like,
Yeah, the beginning of relationships is when you're just like
yeah, you're just doing
blasting through it.
it. Yeah. So like college doing it.
Yeah, college
And
doing it, you're
then,
gonna have a spike.
Like, yeah, then you break up. All right, and then you do some, you do some HJ in yourself. Yeah.
Of course.
And then another relationship, and you do it again at the beginning. I don't know. I have to sit down and do some more
Okay,
calculations.
well, come back to me with that
Maybe
next
if
episode.
your
Maybe.
Excel spreadsheet has things I can type in, and they'll just do some math
Yeah,
for me.
I got
if
some
you have
macros.
Yeah, I'll.
What was your number again?
3,800. I rounded.
What did you do,
3,800.
Natalie?
I didn't
What
do
math did you
anything.
just do? Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I was like, how many days are in 21 years? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
I mean, how do you think you do it like twice a week, 3 times a week, once every
Well,
other
it
week?
varies.
Twice a
Because,
year?
I mean, I was married twice. And it's like usually like the beginning of a relationship, you do it like a lot.
Well, you're still married once.
Yeah, you got married one other time.
Yeah, you were married once.
You were married
I
once,
mean,
I married once.
two relationships.
Yes,
I've
two-
only
You were married twice?
I only had
now?
sex
How
with the
did I know
people
that?
I've been married to.
Okay.
Okay.
So like both of them, you do it like a lot at the beginning, and then it kind of like tapers
Natalie,
off.
don't say that. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We're up to 6 days a week.
You know what
That's
I
how you get
mean?
the 2.4.
We'll be right back.
I feel like it's still a decent amount,
It's
but it's
3,801.
not like it's not like every other day or anything.
It was. It was every other hour for a while.
The hours.
All right. Well, I'm going to
I
come
don't
back to you
know.
guys in the next couple
All right.
episodes and
I'd
see if
say
you
less
have a
than
number.
you.
I'll try to do some math.
I would hope so.
I think we're both
Mine
less
started
than-
at. I had several girlfriends.
Yeah.
From that time. It was like they were all like
The only
long-term,
downside
but-
for you is that you'll never catch up to Ryan. You have to have sex with
Dang.
other people to catch
Yeah,
up.
I guess
That's
you're
fine.
right.
I'm okay
Maybe
with that.
Natalie and I
If
need to
you
have
re-
sex, and then get our
you
numbers
guys
up to
get up to
Ryan.
me,
Yeah.
and then when we're all the same, then we can
we can
start. And
split off.
then we can be like, okay, now who's
Now we can
who's
split up.
fastest?
Right. Or when we're like in our late 80s and Ryan passes away, and then I get another point.
Wow. You can go in the nursing home. Nursing homes are ravaged with
You
STDs.
are not getting another husband, and when I pass
said
away in my
late
late 80s, you are not getting another fucking husband just to catch up to me in my
No,
sex
just
talk.
somebody to have sex.
My husband
You'll just bang in the nursing home. That's all they do.
back on our podcast. We used to have a podcast. Did I ever tell you about
I have to have sex 500 more
Jethro?
times, and then I can go. Then I'm done with life.
So does that mean that?
It's her death mission.
You know what? Just for that, I'm living longer than you. Fuck you.
I hope you
you've
do,
decided.
honestly.
I'm
You've
gonna
decided.
live
I hope
longer than
do.
you.
I don't want to go first.
Both
I mean, I
Wait,
do
what?
want to go. Sorry.
Both spouses
I do
always
want to
think
go
that.
first.
I'm getting remarried when you go first. I'm fucking everyone.
I know you will.
Just to spite you,
Fucking
Natalie.
everyone.
Yeah.
Just to
Did you hear
spite you.
that? I know you will.
Yeah, I know.
I bet you
God,
would.
just
I'm so sad she was in my life. Oh, who are you? What's that? I would.
Well, you listen to you. How about you? You're like, oh, he's dead. I can finally catch up to him in his sexing.
That's obviously a joke.
Mine's real.
But yours is real.
We're going at the same time like we did, like we planned.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of that, I just saw an article about. I think they were in a different country, but this couple, had like euthanasia.
Like kids
Together.
over like different
young
continent.
people.
No, they basically like ended themselves together
Like
at the
Romeo
same
and Juliet?
time, so they could like.
Yeah, like that one episode of The Last
together.
of Us. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be Ron Swanson and his boyfriend in Last of Us.
Oh yes.
You and me. Hey guys, is there anything more terrifying than being the tooth fairy for a child that wakes up super easily?
Oh my god, I hate it. It's so
I
stressful.
hate the
When I
tooth
was a
fairy
kid-
lore is frightening, and I don't know if
Now that like
When I was a kid, I never caught my parents purchasing my teeth from under my pillow and always assumed a tiny little fey creature trespassed through my window,
you
dug
ever
her
catch
little
your
body
parents do that?
underneath my pillow. No, I just said I never caught them.
Okay. Sorry.
me neither.
Yeah, I never caught them doing that. I just assumed that this little fey creature shoved my bloodied stump of a mouth bone into her little tooth-filled satchel and then scurried off to sell it on the black market to some trolls who used human teeth as an aphrodisiac. So now that I'm a parent, I want my kids to have that same experience. Of
course.
I don't want them thinking, I steal the tooth in the middle of the night and replace it with a dollar bill. So the other night, Lexi, who wakes up, if you age too close to her, she wakes up.
She's been like that forever.
She
She
cannot
also goes
sleep.
to the bathroom like 5 times a night.
5 fucking times.
Yeah.
Somehow she has a prostate and it's too big. All right. So she just lost her tooth. Like I said, she wakes up if you age in her proximity.
Well, she also sleeps with her eyes half open.
Yes.
No.
She sits with her eyes half open. All
It
right.
is really
Just
creepy.
be like, the tooth fairy doesn't come to you. You're too freaky.
We're always hoping she loses her teeth while she's over at her mom's house. So
then
we
we
don't
don't
have to
have
like.
to deal
Yeah.
So the other night, she's asleep in bed. And I'm working up the courage to go in there because I'm a giant fucking pussy with this. You are what you eat, I guess.
You just
And so I walk in
you
her
literally
room.
just said that to
How
me.
many times do you guys think you've eaten pussy in your whole life? Natalie, you go first.
0.
You're losing. Yeah.
Yeah. When Ryan dies, and so I walk in her room, trembling with fear. Every single step, for some reason, I make the floor scream at me.
Yeah, it's like creepy.
Lexi sleeps with her eyes open, like Natalie just said, which is super fucking creepy and really terrifying. And this night, her face was like right on the edge of the bed, looking directly at me.
It's like,
Right.
But she's asleep.
It's like
Yeah.
this. It's like
yeah. Like, no.
And on top of that, she sleeps with like 5 pillows. And all I know is that her tooth is under one of them.
she has a squishmallow that she uses as a pillow, but then her real pillow is
That's-
under that.
Okay.
I creak over to her bed, and my foot steps close to right close to the bed, on top of the most crinkly noise or otherwise
Yeah.
of all time, and I run out of the room in a panic.
Okay.
So I come back in to like the bedroom, and Natalie's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I couldn't do it. She's gonna catch me. I know it. So I try again. After a few minutes, I gather my composure. I sneak back in, and this time I'm like, okay, just fucking do it. You can do this. So I get low to the bed. I make sure I don't hit that crinkled up paper on the floor, and my hand goes to graze her pillow, moving her head ever so slightly. She stirs. I run.
Okay.
Okay. So I didn't
It's
do
almost
it.
like you're playing a video game level. Like you
Yes.
went in there and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I know where the creeks are now. Now I'm gonna
Yep.
go back.
Now I'm gonna
I have
go back.
More knowledge.
So
Okay,
I
good.
go in there. I try for a third time. I walk in. I immediately walk out. I can't fucking do it. I'm
Meanwhile,
like
it
legit.
happens again in video
I
games. You
am
die right away at the beginning.
sweating.
It's like
Jeff.
11:30 at night,
I'm
and he's like
pacing back and
pacing in the
forth.
room.
$3 dangling from my hand as I'm more stressed than if I were just told my boss that the entire company saw that I wasn't wearing pants on the last Zoom call. I'm freaking out. Finally, I say to Natalie, "You must do this." Just like the pulling the fucking
Yeah, you have to do it.
the tick out of my
tick,
back.
yeah.
3 seconds later, it's done. She's in bed reading, and I fall asleep. Natalie
they
did
have,
it so
like-
easily, and I was like,
Well,
"Yes,
Do
thank
the kids
God."
have like a little thing they put their tooth in? Or is
No.
it just under
She
the
She
pillow?
happened to have it in a baggie.
Yeah,
this
she
time.
put it
Okay.
in a Ziploc bag.
Like a board game baggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was like a
It was
like a sandwich bag.
Okay, all right.
But like, he was right with all that. She was like, had her eyes half open. She was like kind of
Did
facing
he give you
that
some
way.
knowledge
Right
of
on the edge of the
crinkly
bed.
paper or
Yeah, I'm like,
anything?
watch out for all these
So
traps.
I
You gotta watch
I
out.
like
You
went
have to
over
watch.
to
It's a
her
cooperative
bed
game.
and I reached my hand underneath and I felt the edge of the bag like right at the edge of the pillow. Like it's not like I had to put my hand under the middle of the pillow. I was like, oh, there it is. So I grabbed it and then I just like shoved the money until I couldn't see it and just ran out. And it was
Well, here's
done.
the thing: we're both pretty certain that she knows
Doesn't believe
Sure.
in it, but she like won't admit
because the
it.
night before, she was like, I found out this is my 11th tooth I've lost, so I hope. She looks right at me and Natalie that the tooth fairy leaves me $11. And we're just like, well, what? We don't
Yeah.
control that. And she's just like looks kind of like
Yeah. And then
Looking
she
at us
did it
back and
again
forth.
because I went upstairs and she was like brushing her teeth and she's like, so can you talk to the tooth fairy? And I was like, I don't talk to the tooth fairy. I was like, why don't you write her a note or something?
Write her a
I was like,
fucking
I don't
note.
think I
Bitch's
talked
number.
to
Think I
the
fucking
fairy.
know anything about this weird
I was
ass
like, I don't talk
bitch.
to her. And then she was trying to do the $11 thing. And
So she knows. So I think she put the fucking tooth at the edge of her pillow to be like,
$3.
let me help him out.
no. So it's anywhere
It's the going
between.
rate.
I mean,
Whatever
anywhere between
singles you
$1
have
and
left
$3.
on
Yeah,
your-
$1 and $3.
Like 1 and 3 is what we kind of do. I don't know if other people do more or less. I don't fucking know. We did 3. We made the Natalie made the money into like a little L. So that's the thing that our kids have gotten used to the tooth fairy doing is making like little macrame or something, whatever it is, out of the fucking dollar bills.
Cute.
Which is better than giving them $11.
Yeah,
For a fucking
but this is the kind of stuff
tooth
like
falling
when
out.
it's late at night and
For
we
zero
and we-
accomplishment.
and we have to get this done. And I'm like, who made this up? I hate them. They were not like this is not a thing parents should have to go through.
It sucked.
I wish they could be like, oh, you lost a tooth.
Here's a
some
$1.
money. It's me. There's no like
We're gonna send the
magical
tooth
thing.
I don't
to
like the
Tooth Fairy
idea
in
that a
Tooth Fairy
tiny little
land.
thing flies in your window and steals your teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing with them?
It's fucking
Making
gross.
sense?
They're giving it to a troll.
Just
It's a
like
weirdo.
Santa, everybody does it different. When I was a kid, the tooth fairy didn't take my tooth.
You're weird though.
But like my mom,
Yeah, that was a weird
I
thing.
remember she kept them all of our teeth in her jewelry box.
I don't like that at
That's
all.
fucking weird.
No,
yeah, but
thank
did you
you.
know she did that?
Yeah, I would look at them all the time.
Oh, ew.
What? You would look at them all the time?
Oh my
like, oh, that's
gosh.
Ew, why? Would you like pretend
Well, I
like
was a
put them
little
back in your mouth?
kid.
Let's have
No.
teeth gluing day, and you glue them all back in.
You know
But
what?
like-
I've had sex more than Natalie.
You should have.
Yeah, I think I have.
What a
I'm
weirdo.
more than Natalie.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
like,
with.
you're acting like everyone does it differently, you guys. We
Make a
dressed up
necklace
in
out
our
of
old teeth. Yeah.
No, I just like,
Gross.
saw them.
Can I go with my lost teeth for Halloween this year? Sure, Natalie. Let's glue them onto
Ew.
your body. That's fucking
like
weird.
that.
What have you guys been up to?
I went to Origins.
Origins, the original.
I did. I went to Origins for a day again. Drove down there, turned around, and came back.
That's insanity. That's 8 hours of driving for 8 hours of
It's only
non-driving.
three and a half hours. So it's
Six and a half,
6 to
7 and a half. Okay, then that's worth it. Then.
7 hours of driving, and I had to drive 0 of it because Joe drove. So,
Even
there you
better.
go.
Oh, okay, so passenger for 7 hours and
That's much better.
Participant for 8 hours is way
Yeah,
better.
so I went with Joe and Jen, and then their daughter Maisie, which was her first convention.
Oh, cute.
So they're thinking about bringing her to Gen Con at some point in the future, but wanted to sort of introduce her at
Are they
Origins
going
'cause
to
it's just
Gen Con?
much smaller. Yes, not Maisie. Their other daughter Delaney's going. So the 3 of them are going.
Oh, did Delaney go last year?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was her first convention, which is pretty cool to see her kind of take that in.
She like
the
it?
First time, that was cool. Yeah.
Well, if she's going back this year, obviously.
she
what
wants,
did Maisie
she wants
think
to like bring her friends to Gen Con.
Really?
Okay.
Maisie really liked it. She like went and LARPed and like smacked.
Wow.
Oh, with those foam swords.
things, right? Because Mick and Patty and their daughter Maggie were also there. So Maisie and Maggie are friends and become friends through the group, and they just hit each other with swords for a little while. So that's kind of cool. But it was good. It was I had similar feelings as I had last year to it. It's not like replacing any convention or anything like that for me. And the one day there and back is an easy sell for me to be like, I'm gonna
Just a
leave.
day.
I'm gonna leave home. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow morning. Right.
Right.
So
I
that
don't
was
have to pay for a hotel and all
right. So that was good. I think I would like Origins more if I did the whole 4 days. 5
absolutely.
days, right.
Sticking around and going out to eat.
And just
eat and
playing,
stuff.
right? And I do think I saw all the vendor hall, pretty much everything in the vendor hall. Sure, I maybe missed a booth here or there, or didn't stop every time
Yeah, it's
I
not
wanted to.
so
but-
big that it requires multiple days to
Right.
get through
Yeah.
it.
So that would have just felt like playing a lot of game playing, right? If I would have stayed for that long. But I got to hang out with Mick, and the Measles were all there. Ash and Misty I ran into. Jamie Daggers was there. Rachel Billings. Mick Meeple had his game. He had a booth. So Sam had a booth.
That's
for his
so
game,
cool.
which
That
was
is
really
so
cool.
How cool is that?
So he was able to show his game off and did like a giveaway for the prototype copies, or they're not prototype. They're like the final copies, but not the final copies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever that's called.
I don't know. He's got a name for it.
Something. Yeah. Another listener, his name's Jeff Irwin, I think. Steve Irwin. No.
Yeah, right.
Jeff Steve Irwin.
Right.
Did we see him last?
He's,
Let me stick me thumb up its
I don't think
butthole.
so. He's
remember-
designing a game.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that the marketer like reached out to us about like
Oh,
playing
yes.
his game. So
On Discord.
he does listen, and I got to meet him because he
Right.
put on the Facebook page, he's like, hey, stop by if anybody's at Origin. So I did that. I actually ran into
Wait.
Nelson.
Is that like
Cool.
weather vane?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he did it he posted something again about if you're at whatever's in Orlando.
Is it a PAX or no?
No.
BG? No.
I don't know
Dice
what's in Orlando.
Something's over there.
Probably
if you're
Dice
there,
Tower
let us know.
East. Yeah.
Homemade soda. I get Nelson. I said, which is crazy.
There,
I ran into as soon as I got there. This is crazy. As soon as I got there, they're like LARPing over there, hitting each other with swords, and I turn around and this girl is carrying Kyperium.
This girl is
And I'm
carrying
like,
Nelson.
Who the fuck are you? Like, where'd you get this thing?
Who do you think you
not
are?
Here.
This is not your game.
I went up to her and I'm like, listen, this is gonna be fucking weird, but I want to take a picture of you. And I was like, I want to take a picture.
I know the
of you.
designer.
I was like,
Put that game behind your clothes
I know
down.
the designer. It'd be really cool if I could just take a picture of you holding it, so I could send it to him. She was really cool about it after being creeped out for like a second.
Let me take a picture of
She
you.
was just a nobody?
Yeah, just a random person carrying. I'm like, did you just buy that? She's
That's
like, yeah,
the
I just
dream.
bought it. I'm like, what?
Oh, it
Okay.
was for sale at Origins?
I don't know where. Matt has no idea where it was for sale, but she bought it there at Origins.
What?
Maybe she bought it
From a person?
From a person. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or there was like a local game store that brought some of their shit. You know what I mean?
that
It could have been
be
that.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I'm sure there's somebody I ran into or didn't say, on my list of random
sure.
people. But it was cool. It is nice. The best thing about Origins is just being able to stop and talk to someone. But you really can't do it Gen Con unless you find a space.
Right.
But
It's
as you're
not so
walking
crowded.
and Nelson's standing there or Ash and Misty are standing there, I can talk to them and not feel like I'm running into
You're in everybody's
so
way.
That's what's cool about
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
But it also got me really excited for Gen Con, so I'm very excited because we're 4 or 5 weeks away from Gen
That's
Con.
crazy. Yeah, I thought about
It's like
that
a
today.
month away.
Natalie's like, I think we'll have another show at least before Gen Con. I'm like, what?
At
Our
least one,
podcast, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, it's coming up
I know.
quick.
Like, I think our next episode might be the Gen Con preview episode.
Yeah.
Damn. I have
gonna have to
already
be.
been looking through the list.
Me too. I'm a couple hundred games into the list.
I got about 8. I only have 8 right now that I want to. That
Oh,
are
I have
in
like
the
70.
must purchase.
I don't have them in. I just put interested. So what I do is I'll go through and I'll mark all of them interested,
Yeah, on
and then
the
I'll go
BGG list.
through and then narrow them
it.
down into throw some away.
I'm kind of starting narrowed down. I looked through the list and I only have been looking at cooperative games.
He's like, what do we like playing lately?
Yeah, cooperative games that maybe have a family weight or a deduction component, and I've come up with 8 that seem really fun that the whole family can play. And I'm excited about that because I'm not going to be spending $500-600 like I normally do on games.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll come prepared with our lists next time.
Yeah.
Next recording for a Gen Con preview, we'll do that. But
Yeah, because I got a few I'd like to talk about.
yeah,
so.
going there, I was like, yes, I'm more excited about Gen Con.
Sweet.
And then I came home, and then I went to Vegas, and then I got back, and I got COVID. So that was cool.
Fun times.
Boo.
I got COVID somewhere.
But was Vegas fun at least?
Vegas was fun. Yeah, Devin and I, helped the casino stay in business, and then we saw a show and came home.
Did you see a Cirque du Soleil?
No, we saw. It's called Absinthe. It was almost like a variety show, but it was set in kind of like a weird circus kind of thing. But it was awesome.
Interesting.
It was
Yeah,
very cool. It was
that's
one of the
cool.
better shows.
So when you go to Vegas, because you go pretty much every year.
Yeah.
That's like a standard trip that you guys take.
Yep. Yeah, Devin and I have gone, other than a couple of the COVID years, the last.
You don't ever
we've gone
go.
5
You
times or
have
something.
gone by yourselves, but you don't ever. You usually
Right.
you go with friends and your brothers.
Yeah, we've gone with like my mom before, and then we've gone with with some friends as well.
Natalie and I were talking about this, and we were like, I wonder what Jeff's itinerary is like.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Are you gambling 90% of the time? And are you like
walking
eating?
around,
Yeah, like
looking
what is your
that's
day?
kinda
What are
we
your
do.
days?
Devin and I wake up in the morning and we go to wherever we want to go to that's furthest away because it's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we stay at the Cosmopolitan, which is amazing, and we're like, all right, we want to go to Paris or something. That's the furthest place we want to go away today. We're going to go in the morning, and we'll go have breakfast over at the Paris hotel.
You walk there?
or you can take it like a
Like a taxi?
tram or a
Thing.
taxi, or there's like a shuttle-y kind of thing you can do. There's lots of different ways. So we'll go the farthest thing away. We'll come back. We'll do lunch. We'll take a nap. We'll gamble at the casinos that we randomly go to. We try to pick a cool new place for dinner every time we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because everything's so cool. Like
Yeah.
everything is just overdone and way too expensive, but it's just it's part of the whole thing. But yeah, we're mostly like gambling. Like our money is usually spent on gambling.
What do you do?
Yeah, what are you gambling?
Usually just bad slots. Like nobody.
Yeah.
People out there, that's how you lose. I know, but it's fucking fun.
Yeah, but
And that's
you
what Devin and I
go
like to
there
do.
expecting to spend money, and you go there expecting to lose.
Yeah, so
If
it's
you
like I
win,
lose
that's
$20
cool.
and thing, or I can buy a $20 beer. You know, it's like the
Right.
same shit. So it's like, what do I want?
Yeah, but when you're gambling, which is probably why people have problems with this, you're gambling, you could win.
Yeah, there's a
I could
potential.
You know,
win.
every other thing you're spending
Yeah.
money on, the money's just gone. You don't.
Yeah.
There's not a chance you might get your money
And it's
back.
fun.
You know?
Devin and I like the idea of just walking around and putting $20 in a machine and pushing the buttons a few times, and maybe the wheel spins and it's fun shit. We're looking at people like, you know, judging people as they walk by and
Hell yeah,
making
it's the
like
best part of
people
life.
watching. It's fun. It's
the best part
the
of
best
life.
people watching place on the planet. It's incredible.
I'll bet.
The last time I went to Vegas, it was we just happened to go see a show on the night of the Grammys at the MGM Grand.
Wow.
I don't
And
even go into
everybody
MGM
was
anymore.
so dressed up like, I mean, we didn't see any like celebrities, but like everybody was dressed up like celebrities
Yeah.
dress up, and they were just walking. We're like eating dinner, and then just people like walking everywhere. We're
Yeah,
like,
like,
whoa, look at that!
Okay,
Ooh.
cool. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, so that's kind of what we do.
Do you typically hang with everybody that goes with you, or do you just kind of stick to yourselves?
It depends. Usually, like nighttime, we'll hang out. Like evening, we'll go to dinner
Daytime,
together.
you do your own.
And then maybe we'll split off depending on what we're doing. And then usually we go see a show.
So it does at
We
least
pick a
feel
show.
like a vacation for you and Devin.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
And we all have separate rooms. It's not like we're staying in the same room. Like that.
Yeah,
You're all in one hotel
Yeah.
room. I get to Florida
You know,
tonight.
okay.
yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, and then we usually pick a show when we see like a big production show. every
Yeah.
week. And then if there's anything like little, we'll see a little show. Or,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
Cool.
good.
Well, we didn't go to Origins this year because we were going to go to Gen Con. And so instead, we went and hung out for a night with Shelly and Lance.
Right.
We had talked about at Nerdfest, we had talked about getting together with them. Natalie and I had wanted to just like, surprise, we're here at your, you know, because she
Game
runs
night or
those game
whatever.
night things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But they're only like a few hours long.
yeah, so Natalie was like, hey, do you want to go see Shelly and Lance? And I was like, yeah, let's go surprise them. She's like, no, we kind of talked about maybe specifically hanging out. And I was like, oh. And I was a little disappointed because I was like, I wanted to surprise them though.
Be like, we're here.
Yeah. But so we went out there and we saw, you know, Sean was there, Captain Pedantic, and Plurpy came along, which was cool, and Jack. And I want to talk really briefly about, I don't know if you know, I think you know this, Jeff, but Jack's designing a game as well.
Right. Yep.
It's called, what the fuck is it called? O'Tally's Bazaar?
yeah.
Or something like that?
I think so.
And we got to play a prototype of that. And it was really good.
It was good.
It was
Yeah.
really
Sorry,
good.
say the name again.
I think it's the O'Tally's Bazaar.
O'Tally's
Yeah.
Bazaar.
Yeah.
Cool
I
name.
think that's right.
Don't know what the fuck it means, but cool name.
I know nothing about
I know nothing.
most of it, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. It impressed me a lot more than I expected it to.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. it felt
No
like
offense to. I didn't mean that it wasn't. I didn't expect it to impress me. I was just like,
Right.
you know, like, oh, you know, He doesn't design games that I
Yeah.
know of. So
Yeah.
his first design, I'm not sure what it's going to be like. And
it's
I'm like,
it's
wow,
like
this
a
is really
difficult
impressive.
game. You know, there's a lot
like a
to
game.
it, and it's like, yeah.
It's a game. And then we played a couple of Plurpies designs, one of which he talked about on the Facebook.
Are we allowed to say this
I
out
think.
loud? Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
on
I don't have to
Facebook.
talk much more about it,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
think he posted it on
Yeah,
social media.
he posted on social media. I think that makes
I think he got a publisher who's going to publish it.
like a
Yes,
big,
he
like-
did.
Like a big fucking
Oh,
publisher.
a big one.
Not like
Who is it?
I think it's Pandasaurus.
Pandasaurus is
Oh,
going to
okay.
do it.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Yep. And the game, do you remember what the game is called?
Tricky Kids.
Tricky Kids.
Tricky Kids.
It's cool. It's got this cool mechanism where you're like writing with a dry erase marker
Okay.
on your cards. Do you remember that, Natalie?
those.
She doesn't remember a thing.
No.
And then we played another game of his, and so that one was really light. Okay.
Sure.
And I liked it a lot. I think it's going to be a very big hit with people.
Yeah.
It's a trick take here.
I'm gonna get a review copy of it.
Hell yeah. Excuse me. So the other game
Wake
that we
up.
played of his, I loved this fucking game. He doesn't actually even have a title for it. He calls it The Three Little Pigs.
Oh, that's not like
Okay.
an official.
I don't think that's official. I think he's just like, I don't know. I'm calling it The Three Little Pigs. It
was very
It's
fun.
basically what I wanted Skull King to be like.
Okay.
It's Skull King
Without
without,
the
the stress. So you don't yo ho ho too. Instead, you write your your bid down before the trick starts. So you're like, you see your cards and you're like, okay, based on this, I'm going to write down how many tricks I think I'm going to win or lose.
Okay.
All right. So he's got, it's basically like the Three Little Pigs, like you're bidding on straw, bricks, the wolf, or
Sticks.
sticks. Right.
Yeah,
And
so you're not
each one
like
of those
writing like
represents
1, 2,
something.
3. You write one of those, which represents.
Yeah, you write
something.
straw, sticks, bricks, or wolf.
Okay.
And so based on the number of tricks you win or lose or whatever, that's how you'll win your
Yeah.
bid. And if you win your bid, you get a certain number of points.
And if you don't win your bid, you don't lose anything.
You don't lose
which is the
points,
best
which is
part.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't lose anything if you lose. And the points aren't like ridiculous. They're not like, you get 800 points, you know?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
you get negative 40. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, you win 1 point per trick you win, And then on top of that, if you get your bid, you get more points.
It was so much fun.
really fun.
I really had a blast playing that. And the other one we played.
Were we allowed to talk about that?
About Three Little Pigs?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just got a feeling like, oh, we're saying things about it as you want us to.
I don't think he cares.
Okay.
Do you care, Steven? Do you care?
Tell
So
us and we'll cut
in
it.
person, he's Plurpy to me, right? In person, it felt weird calling him Plurpy because I'm not calling Sean Captain Pedantic. I'm not calling Jack
Names Jack.
named Jack,
yeah.
right? I'm not calling Shelly Michiana Board Gamery.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I started out calling him Plurpy, and then his wife Rachel was there, and she kept calling him Steve, and I was like, okay, Steven,
I know.
Plurpy, Steve.
When we first got there, I was like, oh, is Steven here? And you're like, why'd you call him that? I'm like, I don't know what's his name, but it feels weird.
And that was the whole time we were there. I was just like, "Hey, it's your turn, Steve. Steve, what am I calling you?" Plurpy sounded weird. Steven sounded weird. Steve sounded weird. None of it was working for me.
We don't know what to call him.
But it was a great time. We had a
very
blast doing that.
It was. And we went to Shelly and Lance's house and didn't even play a game with them.
We didn't play a game with them. we played with Steve Plurpy.
Played near
Steve.
Yeah.
Plurpy
near him.
Steve.
We're with Plurpy.
Steven.
With the Plurp Steve.
And we played with Sean and Hannah.
For everybody
And
else
Hannah.
except
Everybody
Shelly.
except Shelly and Lance.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a couple other people that we didn't really know.
Yeah.
Like there were some people that went to Nerdfest that you probably played with some of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I recognized them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't play with them.
Yeah.
The best game we played there, I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I can't wait to talk about it, but I'm going to wait a little bit to talk about it. Do you want to talk about some games we played? Or do you have anything else?
Let's do it.
not.
Nope, that's fine.
You sure you don't have anything else, Natalie? You look like you might have had something else.
The only thing I want to say is I'm reading a really good book right now.
Oh, the Stephen King one.
Yes, called The Outsider.
Sensor for Dead Lights.
Oh, yeah. Stephen King. No, the outside of Stephen King. Let's move on to the games we've been playing.
You're
I'm
loving
like
it.
halfway through it, and it's
Is that an old book?
I think it's brand new.
No, it's
Stephen
not.
King's
It's
still
like
writing
28.
books.
Yeah,
and
I was
alive.
surprised
Good for him.
about that.
It's not brand new.
He's still alive. Good for him.
Yeah.
It's not brand new?
I mean, it's not old, but it's like 2018.
Okay.
That was like yesterday, so it's fine.
Yeah, right.
Let's just talk about games.
Okay.
You're not gonna let me.
What do you mean? You can talk about whatever you want.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Go for it.
No,
Now
I
that you're
lost my
calling,
steam.
now that you're calling me out saying I'm
No.
not going to let you talk about it, now
What
you're
games have you
forcing
been
you to talk
playing,
about it.
Jeff?
No, I'm not first.
No, he's not first.
I'm not
So
first
This is you and me, Steven.
Yep.
Plurpy.
I'll be over here.
Plurpy King. It's been a long time since I've sought out a game with any regularity. For the last month and a half, I've been messaging James from Gaming Company, our FLGS.
Sorry, James.
Like Dave Chappelle asking for crack if they had a copy of Harmonies in yet. And every week he's like, not yet, man. Poor
Still not
fucking
yet.
guy. Well, I made it known that I was searching for this thing, and Dan the Burrito Man messaged me from New York telling me his FLGS had a few copies. Well, like the great benefactor he is, he bought and sent me a copy because he's just that awesome. And now I had to tell James, who I've been pestering for the last month and a half, that not only do I not need a copy of Harmonies now, but that I also got a copy from a rival store, the New York version of Game & Company called Hey, I'm Gaming Here and Company.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Allie.
That's just a classic New York thing, Natalie. Forget about it. Honestly,
someday
I don't
you
even
get
know
it,
why
James.
I wanted it so badly. I didn't research it to death or anything. Just for some reason, it spoke to me. I barely knew what it was about. I just knew I wanted to play it. I don't know. I make little sense.
Yeah, it's
I've
fine.
lived with
Me too.
myself for 41 years. I don't understand a thing I do. Just when I think I know me, I do something that's like, that's not what I expected I would do. So who fucking knows? Either way, I bought the game and played it, and this is how it was. It was fun.
Cool.
What do you have,
What
Jeff?
do you think, Nelly?
Harmonies is really nothing you have not seen before. It's a beautiful little game where you're drafting tiles to make patterns on your player board that satisfy cards and global requirements. That's it. That's the entire game. But for some reason, it has kind of caught fire, or at least caught heat. It's a pretty hot game that everyone seems to love, which is interesting because, again, it doesn't really do anything you haven't seen several times before. The main board has 6 different empty spaces that you fill each of them with 3 tiles you draw from a bag, exactly like Azul. Only Azul's 4, I think. Yeah. On your turn, you must draft 3 of these tiles from one of these spaces and then place them directly on your player board. Where and how you place them is going to be determined by what you've chosen. Blue river tiles can only be on the bottom level and want to be in a continuous line. You score more endgame points if that river's unbroken and long. The yellow field tiles want to be on the bottom level and only next to at least one other one to score points. The brown tiles are tree trunks and can go on the bottom level or on the top of another brown tile. They score points if you have stuff on top of them. The green tiles score points based on their height, but they can be on the bottom level or on the top of one or two brown tiles. The gray mountain tiles can be placed on top of other mountain tiles, and they want to be linked up together. If they're by themselves, they score nothing. But as soon as you make them adjacent to other ones, they start scoring points based on height. Lastly, the red building tiles want to be on top of either a brown, gray, or a red tile and have 3 other colors surrounding them to score points. So while you're placing your tiles you just bought, you're keeping these metrics in mind. You also can take a card on your turn, and these cards have patterns on them on their own that will score points the more that you make them. So you're not only just keeping in mind how each tile scores points, but you're also trying to arrange them in a way that satisfies patterns on these cards. And as soon as the bag runs out of tiles or someone's board has 1 or 2 empty spaces on it, it's time to score. Add up the points and everything you've scored, and the one with the most points wins. Things I liked about Harmonies. I like this game a lot. It's extremely similar to so many other games like this. Cascadia, Reef, Azul come to mind off the top of my head. It's gorgeous. The artwork is fantastic. The components are nice and chunky and fun to handle on your little finger pads. One big mark in this game's favor is how quick it plays. Every turn seems like it matters, and you're thinking hard about what you want and where it should go. But also, turns are lightning quick, and the game's almost over before it began. I think part of the reason the game is so popular is because it sits in such a sweet spot of length and girth. It's like that perfect length to girth ratio. It feels good to play. Never are you left waiting for your turn, but also most turns aren't obvious. There's lots of different patterns and different groupings of tiles to consider, and so it's not a game you can play with your brain off, but it's also not going to tax you or cause you to grind to a halt either. It's got that flow that we always talk about, that really nice flow. So things I didn't like about Harmonies. There's not really much to dislike here, but if I had to give it marks off, I think it would be for originality. This is not going to wow you, this game. You're not going to play this and feel like you just played the next best thing. It's a nice, solid game that stands on the shoulders of everything that came before it. It's not breaking new ground, and that's okay. It doesn't have to. But I'm trying to be critical here. And so if you have a game like this, do you need this one? I think the answer is no, but I'm happy to have it, and I'm excited to play it more for now. But overall, these types of games are always fun to play, but never really seem to hold up to repeat plays. I feel like we're going to play this one maybe 10 times, and that's being generous, before moving on forever, looking back fondly. For me, it's better than Good Not Great. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to playing it again, but ultimately, I think it's going to fade into the sunset as kind of a flash in the pan type of game. Natalie, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought this game was fun too. I liked the lightweight of it, but it also, it had enough there that it wasn't like boring, kept you on your toes a little bit. I was constantly like looking at my board thinking like, okay, if I could just get this color and this color and this color, and then I'd look and I'm like, oh, those 3 aren't together. Okay, what's the next best option? So I'm like engaged with it, but it's still a pretty lightweight game, and it's quick, which is awesome. The art is really cute. This is one that, like you said, it doesn't do anything unique. Yet we also don't really have a game this weight that we've been currently really playing in our collection, so I can see it being played.
Yeah, maybe something
for
like
a little while.
Forest Shuffle, but that even feels a little heavier.
That feels heavier and much longer than this.
Right.
So I feel like, while we have played a million games like this, we don't currently really have one in our collection that we'd, likely pull out. And so this one is.
It seems like the next one.
Yeah.
Right? Because all the other ones like it. Yeah. We just moved.
And I can see you're right. Maybe in a year we'll be like, okay, we're moving on from Harmonies. But I can also, this is the type of game that we're actually likely to get played these days with how our gaming is going.
Very true.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm excited to play it again.
It's fun. I think you would like it, Jeff. I really do.
I mean, it's the hotness.
It's kind of the hotness.
I don't know
right
if it's
now.
faded a little bit.
I think it has, but man, slightly. Well, it's so hard to
everywhere.
get too, and because it's hard to get, it creates a little bit of buzz, especially for me. Because I couldn't get it, I wanted it that much more.
Right,
and I got it, and I wasn't disappointed, but I got it, but I was just kind of like, okay.
Well, it had a lot to live up to with the
Yeah, the hype,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but it was good.
And your chase for it.
My chase,
always,
yep. The chase
That's
was,
true.
was half the
The
fun.
chase is the high. And then once the
got
chase is
high.
over, you're like, eh.
Because I got high. Okay, so that's Harmonies. Jeff, what do you got?
Okay, I got a game from one of, if not my favorite designer, Vladimir.
Suki to me, baby.
So Vladimir Suchi has a game. He has a new game called Shipyard that I haven't played.
Yeah.
That's a re-implementation of old Shipyard, and now it's new Shipyard. or
Okay,
something.
New Shipyard, Old New York.
But next up on my Vladimir Suchi playlist was Evacuation.
Evacuation, come.
Lead. Natalie, what's that from?
Austin
Evacuation.
Powers.
Favorite
Come.
movie of all time.
Ryan's been saying it like a
Come.
million times.
I have?
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
It's in her spreadsheet. She
A
knows how
million
many
fucking
times
times
she
she
says
does.
stuff. So Evacuation was up next. I was excited. I had it sitting on my.
I have not.
You've been saying with Dave.
I'm saying with Dave.
I've been saying with the. I have?
Yeah, you've been quoting Austin Powers a bunch.
She never knew what it was either. She never knew.
Wow.
Yes, I did. I've seen those movies a lot.
Yes, I did. I've seen those movies.
It's when he's peeing after he wakes up from being frozen.
Wakes up. Oh boy, what a long day. So I had Evacuation sitting on my shelf for a little too long.
Okay, how long is a little too long?
I don't want to say it was a year, but
1 year?
it's close. It could have
2
been.
years?
No, not 2 years. No, that's
3
too long.
years?
No. I just said 2 is too long. So 3.
4 years.
You already had in your head that you were going to keep going. But
Yeah,
I
she
have
did.
plans.
10
Exactly.
Yeah,
She did.
Maybe 10 months. Maybe.
I could see
9
that.
months.
I'll go back and look at my purchase list of when I purchased it, and I'll report back to you along with my sex numbers.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear
You
this.
got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah, I have a lot. I'm gonna make a list. So, Evacuation, first of all, feels like a Vladimir Suchi game. So I knew I was like, this is gonna be a hit. Okay,
Yeah.
whether it's great, I don't know, but I'm like, this is gonna be a game that I like.
Right, you like his stuff.
Starts in the positive. It's always he always kind of does something unique that I enjoy. So, in Evacuation, players are moving out of a whole new planet. They're getting the fuck out.
Get out of here.
In this game, I think the sun is getting too hot and it's like fucking our planet up. I don't think we did it. Do you know, a lot of them are like, all right, well, humans fucked the planet up again. I think it's like, I don't know, drifting too close, so the sun's just blowing us up. I don't know.
Okay.
So we need to move our shit that we've made on our planet
Gotta
to
get
a
out.
new planet. We're evacuating. Get it? That's why it's called Evacuation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, main board you have probably seen, there's 2 giant planets on it. And there's a track that sort of swirls in between the 2 planets.
Yes,
Is
I
that-
have been seeing
Is that like the staircase between the planets that you have to
It
go?
kind of looks.
Oh, that's the space, that's like the travel
When I've
route.
seen this,
travel route.
when I've seen this board, I'm like, is this like some weird terraforming Mars ripoff?
It's got a feeling of like an on Mars, terraforming Mars type.
Yeah.
To me, as soon as I sort of read it and thought of the theme, I thought of on Mars, right? Where
'Cause you go between
You
them.
you kind of go between. It's not as heavy and it's not as intricate as on Mars, but it has that feeling of like, all right, I'm going to start shutting down what I'm doing. I'm going to shut myself. I'm going to start shutting down what's going on this planet and sort of moving things instead of just developing. Anyway. So that's what the main board looks like. It's really cool looking.
Sweet.
You have your own non-dual layer player board.
Oh.
That has like some tech upgrades on it, and below it tells you what actions that you can take.
Okay.
So on your turn, you choose an action, and you place an action card underneath that action on your board. So at the bottom, you're like, I want to take this action. You put a card underneath it. It's sort of a way to just keep track of what you've taken. Those actions all involve ways of like shutting down your old planet and starting up your new planet.
Okay.
Getting ships, moving and building factories, transporting and making population.
Ooh.
It's called cloning, but
many
it's
times
definitely
you
just
had
banging,
sex?
right?
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
just
banging. Upgrading technology, stuff like that, so you can sort of make the trip from planet 1 to planet 2. Players sort of pay energies as they take more and repeated actions, so you can't just take as many actions as you want. You have to energy to pay them. After the actions, players load up the ships that they bought, and they move stuff from one planet to the other.
Okay.
You have 4 rounds to best sort of make the greatest production that you can on the new planet. Your old planet sort of shuts down. By the end of the game, I think it says like that, I don't know if the planet blows up or whatever, and whatever,
Yeah,
you're
it's
fucked.
like on fire or something.
Yeah. So at the end of 4 rounds, you sort of score for a variety of points and the development that you have in the new world. Or you can play a race mode that sort of races to who can have the best production the fastest on the new planet.
Okay.
Gives you those directions both ways. It suggests you play the race mode first. I have an opinion that I think you should play the point mode first to get a feel of the game, and then if you feel like racing each other. I don't feel like a race should be the first thing you do in a game that's very Euro
Yeah.
worker placement, action selection type of game.
Okay.
Anyway, that's kind of it. I oversimplified an extremely heavy game because it's a 4.0 on the BGG scale.
You're not going to fucking get it all.
So let me start by saying that Vladimir Suchy has made another game that I really enjoy. Enjoy like the rest of them. Close.
Underwater Cities.
No, definitely not to that level.
Okay.
I've written down all the ones that he's designed that I've played, and we'll talk about where they rank. So this game from your first action is fucking difficult.
Okay.
You can't just like pick things, right? In every one of his game, there's sort of a restriction. Underwater Cities sort of opens it up and like you can take the action if you want. You get a bonus if you do this. This one, you're really restricted to what actions you can take based on the resources that you have. And also you're keeping resources on different sides of your player board that represent what side of what planet you're on. So if I'm taking actions on the main planet, I have to have resources on like planet 1. I have to have resources on planet 1.
Yeah.
If I take an action on planet 2, I have to have resources on planet 2.
You can't like, bring them back and forth with you.
You can, but you can only do it like at the end of the round when you're shipping things from one to the other.
Okay.
So there's this like incredible management of not only just your resources, but it's your resources on both planets that you have to manage, which is difficult. And you add the more actions you take, the more resources you have to spend from a specific side of the planet. That is really a like really wonderful challenge if you like that. If you like that brain burn of, all right, I got to figure out timing. I always talk about how I like timing in games.
Yes.
And this is not only timing, but it's like a balance. It's not a timing of, all right, I'm shutting this one planet down and now I'm full on this planet. I have to have this balance of, all right, there needs to be some stuff on my home planet because there's people there, so I have to feed them. But I have to pick up this other planet because there's people there too, and I have to be able to feed them. So you can't just shut down one. So it's this really fun balance of like doing things at the right pace. And I think that was a really cool idea.
Slow down and do it at a medium pace.
That's it. Yep. Just slow down. Taking higher powered actions, so each action sort of have like a level to it. Taking higher powered actions sort of move you up on this track. They get you some end round bonuses, which I really like. You really want to... I'll skip that part. Honestly, all of this stuff comes together for like just a fun timing challenge that I liked. It's heavy. So Devin and I, about halfway through the game, are like, okay, we're starting to get the cadence of the game.
Yeah.
Which we did with Woodcraft as well. Woodcraft is hard, where you sort of start with nothing, and you have to
Have you come back to that?
out. No, I haven't. But it's one that's on my list that I want to play with the game group soon.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Oh, you haven't played with them yet?
No.
Got it.
I've just played with Devin once for sure, man. I don't think we come back to it. You're right. I'm a bit nervous of like the longevity of the game. I don't know how it feels. If I figure that timing out, is it kind of done? Do I feel redundant if I figure out like, okay, this is the pacing that I need to go. I'll move 2 or 3 the first time. I'll move 5 the second one, right? Is that
once you figure it out, is it boring?
Yeah. There are some advanced modes, which I'm really excited to try. One of them that I'll implement right away with the next game is, even if I play with the game group, I will. The action cards that you use to indicate what action you take, if you play in the advanced mode, on the back or on the front is something else that you do with your action. So there's like a more advanced action along with it. So like I play this, I'm going to take the development action and I get to activate my card.
Got it.
Which is something I really enjoy in a lot of games, but I didn't want to overwhelm Devin and myself in this first play. So that's something that I'll add right away. And I think if you're a gamer and you're playing with gamers, you maybe just throw it in right away.
Okay.
The game suggests the race mode to start with. I don't think you should do that. I think you should explore the game first with the point mode and see kind of how things work. There's a few parts of the game that feel like overly complex for no reason. Like when I make population, I have to pay a steel or something. I'm like, why the fuck do I have to do that? Other than you're trying to manage my resources more. Fiddly, maybe a layer of depth that just didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
If that makes some sense with certain actions. And that I felt like that in a few of his games before.
Is this published by his Delicious Games,
and
whatever?
Rio Grande.
So does he? I wonder if he does not have a developer. Is it just him?
I don't know.
Like, I wonder if he worked with the developer. I mean, he might, but I wonder if he did. If some of that stuff that you're saying kind of feels overwrought.
Yeah,
if that maybe wouldn't happen, they'd streamline.
If someone
it a
was
bit.
like, let's maybe take it down a notch, make it a 3.5, and just. There's also this thing that's like buy these stadiums and have these stadiums be in. They're called stadiums for some reason. I don't know if there's like entertainment for people, but it seems like an add-on. You're only doing it to like reach an end game, and I'm like, that doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't feel like Underwater Cities, where I felt like everything is just flows so well in that game.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I still really liked it. Devin actually liked it more than she thought. We sat down one day. I'm like, I'm just going to teach it to you because I think the teacher's going to go rough because the directions are shitty. And I just was like, I don't know how I'm going to phrase this in a way that makes sense to us. And I was like, are you still going to play the game with me? And she's like, yeah, I'll play with you. And again, halfway through, she's like, I like this more than I thought I was going to like it.
Oh.
So that's good.
Cool.
So again, needs another play. I don't see myself really getting rid of the Suchi games until I've played them 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
They're never really, to me, they're so good that I'm not just going to get rid of them on the first play.
Yeah.
No matter whether I go, man, that was good, or wow, that was great. Those things to me, I'm like, I need to play it again because I trust him in his game design.
So you have a list?
I do. Okay, you want to hear the games that many of you have played?
Many of us.
Many of us. Underwater Cities.
Yep, love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Praga.
Love it.
Pulsar.
Good. Love it.
Yes.
Woodcraft.
Okay.
Last Will.
Ooh, yeah.
Messina 1347.
Damn.
Shipyard. Evacuation. The Prodigals Club. And there's a couple more that are kind of nobodies.
Okay.
But those are like those are the big ones. How many is that? 3,
7?
6, 9. Damn, you're fine. So that was 9. I've played
8?
all but 2 of them. I have not played the Prodigals Club, and I have not played Shipyard, which is the new one.
Okay, I thought you were naming off the ones you had played. Okay.
No, I have not played those 2. And then the other ones are just like the popular ones. Like Underwater Cities, to me, is in a class by itself.
Okay.
There is then to me, a tier 2
Yeah.
that I would put, in my opinion, I would put Woodcraft maybe at the top of that
Wow.
tier 2.
So you loved Woodcraft.
along with Pulsar and Praga would be my tier 2.
Okay.
And then my tier 3 would be Messina, Evacuation, and Last Will.
Nice. In that order.
I think so. I think I like
Okay, so
Messina
pretty
a little more.
low for Evacuation.
Pretty low, I think, for me in the Suchi world.
But Suchi World is above.
Suchi World is still like, that could still
Above
be a
most
top 50
games,
game
yeah.
for
It's
me.
like ranking
you know
the
what I mean?
T games.
Right. And all those are still like probably
Yeah.
a top 50 game for
Yeah.
me. So I think it's better than good, not great. And maybe with the advanced mode, it hits. Or in a year, I haven't played it. You know what I mean? Or I come back and say,
Sure.
I haven't played Evacuation in a year. Played Underwater Cities probably 2 times in that year.
Right.
Woodcraft is one that I want to go back to immediately. I wanted to play Pulsar like a bunch right away. And we haven't.
Yep.
And I haven't played that in a while either.
Yep. Same with us.
Same.
I love that game.
Yeah, I
That's a
know.
great game.
So, man, I look at that list and I'm like, this guy, he gets it.
He's knocking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes some fucking
doing good
games.
work.
He's your boy.
Yeah.
He's kind of
he
your.
is.
He's kind of your boy.
I think he is.
Yeah. One of the most fun things about the Spiel des Jahres for me is playing all the games nominated for it.
Yeah.
It's just fun to be involved in and a part of. There's some sort of magic and mystique to the awards, especially when a game is nominated that I've not heard of. That game this year was called Captain Flip. Flapjack Flip Flop.
Flap, flap, flip, flap.
Captain Flip is a tile laying game where every turn players get a tile to place on their player board to fulfill a placement pattern like every other game to score points. But the trick in this game is that you can either place the tile that you get on your board in one of the legal spots for it to go, or if you don't like that tile, you can choose to flip it over, as it will have another tile on the other side. The thing is if once you flip it, you can't then flip it back. So you get a little push your luck aspect going on there. Once you either flip it or don't, you place it on your board where it will stay until the end of the game, which, like Harmonies, is extremely quick. The game ends once a certain number of columns have been filled up with tiles, and then players score points based on each tile and what it does. Again, it's like any other tile laying game you've ever played where tiles score points based on what they're next to or how many of them are on the board or how many other tiles aren't on the board, stuff like that. So things I liked about Captain Flip. This was a lot of fun, surprisingly. I enjoy push your luck in games, and I like the way this one works. It's very simple, but effective, as you always get something worse than you wanted, and it's just so funny that it never stops you from trying again the next time. It's got a cute pirate theme that works well, and my kids play it, so it really does work well as a family game. It's over lightning quick, and there's a lot to like about that. Though, through the family lens, I think you can't really ask for much more than Captain Flip. Things I didn't like. I mean, yeah. It's hard because the Spiel des Jahres is very prestigious, and we as gamers put so much emphasis on it and criticize it a lot. But it's not really meant for us.
Like the game.
It's meant for families of nons, not families of hardcore gamers or adult hardcore gamers, right? They're the best games of the year for families of nons. So through that lens, Captain Flip is really cool and really good for families. Nons would love this, I'm sure. Low rules overhead, a cool introduction to push your luck, plays very, very quick, has a cute and fun theme. Fun for the whole family. For a gamer, this barely registers as a blip on the radar of good lightweight games that came out last year. It seems so shocking that it's nominated for the best game of the year when us as hardcore gamers simply don't think that way. Do I love this game? No. Would I put it on a list of best light games of the year? No. But the Spiel des Jahres is not best light games of the year. It's best family game of the year, which I'm certain is not meant for hardcore gamers.
Well, then why is it such a big thing?
It's a weird kind of phenomenon. It's just really, really
There's also not
prestigious.
like a massive amount of these awards either. So I think maybe
true.
because
This is although it's only German. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah.
Overall, this game is good, not great. It's fun. I'd play it if I was in an Airbnb and they happen to have it lying around. You know, I'd be like, wow, cool. Captain Flip, sweet. I'd even think I'd recommend this to a family looking to play games with their kids. For me as an adult with my adult group, I don't think I'd play it more than once as a novelty. With the family, I would play it anytime the kids wanted to play it. It's one of those games where I thought as a kids game and a family game, it works really well. It had enough meat on its bones to keep me interested, unlike something like My First Everdell. Or whatever that game was. My Little Everdell, whatever.
My Little Everdell.
One of those. That game I was kind of like, okay, this is annoying. Or like Through the Footsteps of Darwin, I was also like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
You know, after one play, this is like boring. But Captain Flip had that exciting push your luck element. Really, really simple. But again, if you're a family of nons, you know, and you're like, oh, I heard about this Spiel des Jahres thing, and here's this family weight game, it's very cool. It's like nothing you've ever played before. But that's my review. I don't know. What do you think, Natalie?
Yeah, I have pretty similar thoughts. I think I liked it less than you. I didn't like it very much.
Well, it's got push your luck. You don't like push your luck.
Yeah, the push your luck mixed with the randomness together just didn't really make it fun for me. I do like the simplicity of it, and like kind of like you said, I would definitely play it with the kids. It's one that doesn't feel like, oh, I'm just playing a little kid game, you know. But other than like doing something with the family, I would never want to play it. I'd be like, nah. I don't know. It's just a little too push your luck at random though. Like it was kind of just annoying because like there's like some tiles. There's this one tile specifically that's like, if you have one of these tiles, you get this many points. If you have two of these tiles, you get this many points, you know? And like if you get like the max amount, you get like a lot of points compared to like how many points you can get for everything else. And Lexi just happened to pick one every literal draw, all in a row.
Yeah, right.
And so I was like, I'm going to go for those two. Picked one, never again. You know, or like those like, there's certain ones where if you flip over
Captain Flip
over
more than 3 of these like bad guy things, you just lose the game. And so I had 3 flipped over. And I'm like, well, I can't flip any more things over, so I'm just stuck. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's like not that fun.
So you liked it then?
I did not like it, but
You didn't not like it? Is that what you said?
I did not like it.
Oh, you did not like it.
She did not like it.
I did not. I liked it enough to
hate
play
it.
it with the kids because it doesn't feel like one of those like dumb kid games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so if they wanted to play that, I'd
It's a
be
dumb
like,
adult game?
Yes.
yeah, it's a dumb adult game. It's a fine kid game. Like when we play with the kids, a lot of times, like it's more about being together and doing an activity together to me than when I play with like adults. A lot of times I'm like, well, there's so many options. I want to play something I like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what this game is.
I actually agree with you. That sounds like you're shitting all over it. And she's kind of right. Yeah. It's not that
it's not a bad
great of a game.
but it's just like, it's all right.
It's very middle of the road as far as a game that we would like I said, it's not. The Spiel des Jahres is not about the best light game of the year for hardcore gamers like us. We would look at that and be like, okay. I thought it was fun, but GNG.
Yeah.
Dynamite. Jeff, what else you got, man?
Okay. Listen to these names I'm going to talk about. Okay. Whoa, time out. We got to go back.
People's
Let's go back.
I need to start by saying, as we talk about this in the banter, I forgot. Welcome to the worst fucking time of the year in the United States of America. It is the 4th of fucking July.
Here we go.
Jeff's favorite
And
time.
Here we go.
We hear some like
These
right now.
Tomorrow's the day,
That's what
Jeff.
fucking reminded me as I'm sitting here as we're recording a podcast, and here's
It's like
all these
daylight.
and people are just shooting off fireworks in the driveway.
I know.
So I got to deal with that bullshit for the next 48 hours or 48 fucking days, depending on where you live, where someone went out and bought this massive pile of fireworks. Can't wait to hear all the news stories about people blowing their fingers off for the next few days.
I know.
Cool.
What's annoying is like we'll be sitting on our deck and it's like 6 p.m. and sunny and like you hear one and you're like, what are you doing?
So that's the
You can't
worst.
even see it.
Anyway, that's the worst.
Sorry, man.
The other thing, Dev and I have started a game called it's by Yellow, IELLO.
Yep. Yellow.
Guilty, and then Houston.
Guilty
So
Houston.
Guilty is a new crime solve game set of games.
Guilty is the name.
Guilty.
Okay.
Houston
And then
is the
Houston is the
specific
colon.
one.
And then there's going to be the next one coming out is Guilty Monaco, and they have a year. So Houston's 2015, Monaco's like 1995.
Cool.
It's cool so far. It's standing on its own in that like genre of games. We're not done with it yet. It's a 3 to 4 hour like experience.
Oh, shit.
So we're kind of just going to go through it as we feel like we have an hour to sort of read cards and do that. It's all card based. No app really. There's different endings. So depending on the paths you take, there's different endings, which I think is cool. All of them give you a solution, but they're not like,
Okay.
none of them's going to be like, you're a loser, right?
Right.
They're all just going to give you sort of a finishing thing. So I'm excited to explore that one more and keep kind of with that series maybe. I don't know. Again, I play all the ones that come out like that. So keep your eye out for that if you do like those and you seem to run out of... I feel like I don't see unlocks and exits as much anymore.
Those don't
Yeah,
seem as like popular.
Right. I think the popularity has waned.
And the Chronicles of Crime, if you've gone through all of those, there hasn't been anything really new lately.
Yeah.
But this one is a one shot. I think it's like $15. So again, that's an easy throwaway.
Yeah.
Because once you're done, you're done.
Yeah,
Playing it
that's
through
true.
to the other endings doesn't make any sense because you've seen all the cards up until that point.
Got
But
it.
anyway, all right, let's talk about this game that we just played before the show. I want to talk about some names. Inca and Marcus Brand.
Those are some big fucking names.
Ian O'Toole.
That's a big
I've heard of that
fucking
one.
name.
Now listen to these motherfuckers have come together to make a game called Sausage Sizzle.
That would be my next guess of what
Yeah,
they're
like what do you think that they would come? You know, they made these.
They're like,
they
we don't wanna
made
make
the
exits anymore.
They made Village. Their artistry for all this Vital Lacerda games. Beautiful. Let's team up and make Sausage Sizzle.
sausage sizzle.
Funny because like now that I
Sausage-
think about it, it doesn't even make sense.
Well, Sausage Sizzle is it's like a re-implementation. The one we played is a new version of an old game from 2012.
Oh.
Okay. It makes you're at a barbecue. You're an Aussie at a barbecue.
Yeah, but what are those animals and have to do with the
They're
sausage?
Australian animals.
They're at the barbecue.
What do you want them to be? Sausages?
They're like human animals,
I don't know. It's like Bluey. Who knows?
like in Zootopia.
I don't know. They're cute. You thought the kangaroo was a dog, and Ryan thought it was a.
I thought it was a
donkey.
donkey.
So I'm
Although-
talking about a game called Sausage
Okay.
Sizzle.
Sausage
Natalie's
Sizzle.
worse than me. I didn't actually think it was a donkey. It was just
Yeah,
the first
Natalie
thing that
really
came to my
thought
head.
it was a
She was
dog
like,
for a
"It's a
while.
fucking dog."
So
It looks like a dog.
I want to sizzle your
Well, they
sausages
didn't show
here.
the pouch. How am I supposed to know? It was wearing a tuxedo and it only showed his head.
You can only
100%
tell.
looked like a
You can-
kangaroo.
Jeff, no, you can only tell
There's
a
a-
kangaroo is a kangaroo if you see its pouch.
Yeah, if you see it-
Otherwise,
Well,
it
when
can
you
be
only
anything.
see
Bottom
it
front,
from
it'd be
its-
able to tell.
When you see it
But wait,
from
if you see top front, there's no way you'd be able to know it's a
That's its
kangaroo
worst quadrant.
versus
I don't know,
a
you'd be able
dog.
to-
Listen, you only saw neck up really because of his tuxedo, and he had big floppy ears and a long snout.
I could see how it's a little doggish.
No. I disagree.
I want to have sex.
We're going to
tonight.
sizzle
You
some
don't need to
sausages.
worry
Okay,
about
that's
that.
true.
Definitely not a dog. We can all agree on
3801.
Yeah,
that.
3801 is
3801 is
potentially
gonna be-
happening
it's gonna
tonight
be
if I
epic.
agree with sausage sizzle.
Okay, so we're going to sizzle ourselves here. Sizzle some sausages. So from 2012, this is getting remade through 25th Century. Okay, so you can buy this at. There's going to be some at Gen Con. There's going to be a little release later. But I got to tell you how this game sort of came about. So I'm going to name drop.
is
I
gonna
talked
be a
to
release
Chad a little
later.
bit about what the fuck this game was because I knew the games that were going to be at Origins through 25th Century. I was like, okay, and then Sausage Sizzle is sitting there, and I'm like, all right, who's sizzling sausages and what's going on here? What's Ryan looking at?
I'm so sorry. I'll have to cut this out.
Okay.
I'm logging dimensions for today. I didn't log my last play, and my eyes were like, what am I going to do? How am I going to find out when we play it? And I was like, I know. I'll ask Jeff. And as my brain said, I know, I'll ask Jeff, you were like, uh-oh, what's Ryan doing? And I was like, oh, whoops. I made that a little too
You
obvious.
look so panicked.
I'm sorry.
You look so panicked about
I did. I was like, oh, God, I didn't log dimensions the last time. When did we play that?
I'll pull it
When?
up.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so I was talking to Chad at 25th Century about what the hell this sizzling sausage game is, okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's hilarious. And what happened, and this is a weird thing, is Ian O'Toole, he was talking to Ian O'Toole.
Okay. How's it
and
going, Ian?
This game came up, okay? And they were like, it's hilarious, okay? They play it, sitting around, whatever. It's a goofy-ass game. And he was like, Ian O'Toole was like, if you can get the rights to this game, I'll do the artwork. And so Chad went on this mission. He bought a copy of this game for a little too much. And he, he got individual. He had to make phone calls to different countries to get the actual U.S. distribution rights for this game. Okay, and he then rethemed it to Sausage Sizzle, and then he had to work with Inca and Marcus Brand to get their name designed on it to do whatever.
What did they do?
I don't know.
I wonder
don't know
what
they
they did.
changed or tweaked.
They were like, sure, you can put our name on it. I don't care.
Ian O'Toole has some fucking artwork for this.
Yeah.
So Ian O'Toole's got Kanban on Mars, Sausage Sizzle,
Sausage Sizzle.
and the artwork is cool. It's cute. The box
it's very
cover is
cute,
really cute.
But it's also very there's
Basic.
not very any.
It's a
there's nothing
nothing
to the game,
It is
so there's
a
not a lot
nothing
of
game.
artwork.
So this game is goofy, silly type of game. It's a Yahtzee style press your luck game. Okay, on your turn you roll and re-roll dice just like Yahtzee. You got to lock one every time. There's 4 dice that have animals on it. There's this kangaroo, and there's 4 dice that are numbered. Okay, and you just have to lock and roll and lock and roll. And your goal is to try to get the highest numbers along with the same animals. So you want 3 kangaroos and you want the number 5s. Cool. And then when your dice are all locked or you've chosen to stop rolling, you times the dice that have the numbers on it, your lowest number, times the dice number that you have the same animal on. So you have 3 kangaroos and you have your lowest number is a 4, you get 12 points. Yippity-doo-dah. And you write that down, and that's the last time for the game that you can score the kangaroo. So you're scoring each of the 6 animals once per roll.
Very Yahtzee-ish, like you said.
Very Yahtzee-ish. But let's talk about wieners. Okay?
There's wieners in this
There's
too?
wieners in this game. Okay? Wieners are sausages. Sausages are wieners. So when I say wieners and sausages are
You're thinking the same.
interchangeable. Okay.
Same shit.
Each number dice
WTF, what
In case anybody didn't know.
has either 1 or 2 wiener sausages on it. If you get the wiener sausage, if you just have 1, it's just 1. It's because it's a wiener. It looks like a 1.
It's a 1.
Because
Wieners look
wiener's
like the number
1.
1.
If you hold up a wiener or a sausage, it looks like a 1.
Yep.
So that would be 1.
Or
Damn,
a minus sign
I only
if you
got
hold it
1.
there, if you're holding it perpendicular.
Well, you got to look at it because it's,
okay.
it's smiling at you.
Okay, I
yeah.
see.
Because it's my happy wiener.
It's a happy wiener.
It's a happy wiener.
Yeah.
So that's only 1. But if you
3,800
get
times.
all 4 of your numbered dice to wieners, it's times 7.
That makes sense because 4
Because 4 and
wieners.
because it's
That
higher
makes
than the
it
other
makes
numbers.
sense somehow, Natalie.
Yeah, wieners, and that's it. And then at
You
the
get
end
4
of the 6
wieners, you're a
rounds,
wiener.
If you get 4 wieners, you get
add up.
7.
You just add up how many points you have. Sausage Sizzle.
Easy
We
peasy.
played it minutes before the show. What did you think of Sausage Sizzle?
Fucking loved this game. I loved it so much. This is one of those games. Even as Jeff's re-explaining it, I'm like, why didn't I design that?
I
Yeah.
know, right?
It's
on that
so
list.
it's he called it a stupid little game, and it is. It is a stupid little game, but it's a stupid, clever little game.
It is.
I found it very clever. How many different versions of push your luck exist in the world is surprising to me. This game is push your luck, extreme to the extreme. When you roll 1 wiener and you're like, my first roll, I already got a wiener and it's on the orange die where there's only one
Yeah.
side of a wiener. I'm going for wieners,
baby.
I'm going to wieners.
Wieners.
And then you proceed to roll 2 more wieners on your
Ooh, and
next
you're
roll.
just- you're full
and
of
you're
wieners.
like, I have infinite amount of rolls left.
You keep saying
to get
infinite.
1 wiener.
How easy is
infinite.
it? Just one. All I need is 1 more
I have
wiener.
100 billion more rolls left, and I get
Yep,
and
wiener.
it's on a red die where
There's
there's
2
2
sides.
wieners.
2 wieners.
And then you don't get the fucking wiener.
You don't get the
and you
fucking
only get
wiener.
Any of the
one,
times.
and then you only match one of your fucking colors. You only get 1 donkey, and so you only get 1 point. And then you rage, and it's so good because you rage, and literally the whole time you're raging, you're like, Natalie, take your turn in 2 seconds. I want my turn to come back.
I need to roll
Give me the
again.
dice
Yeah.
again. It's the best feeling. I loved this game. I thought it was so much fun. It's just Yahtzee. New Age Yahtzee. Jeff talked about how you can only score animals once. That's Yahtzee. I mean, Yahtzee is you're only rolling 3 times. This you can roll as many times as you want, as long as you're locking 1 die each time. But you could be done on the first roll if you wanted to. You could, or you could take, how many dice are there? 7. You could take 7. You could take 8 turns. Yeah. You're never going more than that. But it does have a very Yahtzee-esque feel. It has this really great thing of you feel like, okay, I'm just going to lock 1, and then I got all these opportunities. Look, there's infinite possibilities.
Yep.
And as your turn goes on, only over the course of a minute, those possibilities start to shrink, and your stress starts to grow and grow. And that is, it's like, it's like,
Oh my God, no.
it's like,
Stop.
it's like,
No.
No.
Your turn's over.
So Ryan liked it. Natalie, what did you think?
I thought this game was also really fun, mostly because it's so stupid. Like, it's one of those games where you're like it kind of reminds me of like Strike. You're like, what a stupid game, but it's like so fun. Let's play it over and over again.
It's like,
No. Turn his mic off.
it's like,
I don't know that capability.
it's like,
He's muted.
turn it back on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so. It's funny because I just said I don't like Captain Flip because of the randomness and push your luck, and like this is just like similar to that, but it's such like a silly, stupid thing. Like it's just more fun.
Yeah,
because it's simpler. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
you're not building towards anything.
Right.
You're each turn is kind of individual. And you're like, okay, I did the alligators now.
Yep.
Move. And then like, and another thing is like Jeff and Ryan, they're risk takers, so they were pushing their luck trying to get those wieners.
We had to. We rolled a wiener at the very beginning.
We were losing.
There was literally infinite possibilities of rolling a wiener.
A risk taker, and so I never tried to go for the wieners, and guess who won? But anyway,
Natalie, if you were playing the first game that I played,
93 points he
you would have
scored.
come in third because you had no wieners.
Yeah, you gotta go wieners.
There were wieners all over the table when I played the first time.
If you see a wiener, you gotta go wieners.
Yeah.
But
it's like,
and it's fun too because like at the beginning, like even though like each turn, like Ryan said, the possibilities get like less and less as you're like, locking in dice. But also as the game goes on, it gets tighter and tighter because like at the end you only have one animal option, and you're like rolling, and you're like, I'm not rolling the only animal I can use to get points, and you're like, oh my god,
I'll get 0.
Yeah, exactly. But it was really fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's so playing it at Origins, as soon as Chad sort of told me about the game, and he's like, it's just a blast. And you're sitting at the table, you're chanting for wieners, you're just like laughing at each other. Yeah. No one cares how many points they're really scoring.
Exactly. Right. Nobody cares who wins or loses. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Because of,
why'd you point it out so many times, Natalie?
Yeah, Natalie.
I pointed it out once.
And I played it with Patty and the Measles at Origins, and again, it's like we're sitting in the open gaming area, like yelling wieners out loud. That's fucking hilarious. Like that's
so funny,
so fun. And I know they went and bought it right after. I'm like,
oh, did they?
I was like, name drop me, so Chad still likes.
Right.
And, they went and bought it. They might have. Patty might have bought it too, but they went and bought it, and I think Sam McMeeple went and bought it too, and it was just like,
cool.
It was just. It's
Is it available? Can I buy it right now?
I don't think so. But put it on your Gen Con list. I don't even know.
Party.
Sizzle.
Set. Sizzle. You shouldn't have told me. It would have taken forever.
I know, that's why you figured that out. No, I don't think it's available yet. So I think it's going to be. He's going to have copies at Gen Con, and then it'll be released after that. So maybe we'll make that one of our trips at
we
Gen
gotta
Con to go
that.
get it.
My God, was that fun?
Yeah, it's again. Does it? A negative of it is it's just maybe it has a shelf life, right? Maybe we only play it, but maybe we only play it 50 times, right? And like that, but still, that's so fucking
50 times
fun
in 2 years, and
for a $15, $20 game.
I don't know that it has a shelf life.
It's so fun.
If you brought this out in any situation, fuck yeah, I'm in. Let's roll.
Oh yeah,
I cannot see a situation.
I think literally anyone you show this to will be like, yeah, that's fun.
Wieners,
no matter who.
I would go and just take a flyer on this and buy it, similar to like the Strike. Just if you see this, if you're going to Gen Con, you see it, buy it. If you go on 25th Century website afterwards and buy it in October or November, whenever they do that, just throw it in your cart.
Games with push your luck mechanisms like this, like we Strike as well, it's just like constant excitement.
Yeah.
It's just excitement. Captain Flip, that's the best part of that game is the push your luck to see like, do I just go what's on the other side? Oh fuck. You know, it's like, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Once in a while, a game comes around that I cannot stop playing, that I don't want to stop playing. Games I can think of like this are Just One, Nana, The Mind, games you just want to play over and
Sausage
over and
Sizzle.
over and over and over, Sausage Sizzle, and you want everyone else to play it too. Well, Plurpy showed Natalie and I this game at Shelly and Lance's place, and holy fucking fuck, it's the only game I want to play right now. And it's the only game we have played right now. We've logged almost 50 plays since we learned it and have not looked back. It's fun with gamers. It's fun with kids. It's just fun.
Well, we've been playing it daily with the kids at lunchtime.
Your guys' numbers this year with Paper App Dungeon in this game are going to be like 10,000.
You're going to think we played billions of games. The only caveat to this game being it's probably better with more people than less. Maybe 5 or 6 is the sweet spot. Too many and it would get ridiculously challenging. Too few and it'd be too simple. Though Plurpy did mention that playing with more than one card, if you're playing with fewer people to make it harder.
Okay.
The game I'm talking about is called Ito.
Did you still not say the game?
Okay.
But the version of it we played is called Ito Rainbow. ITO Rainbow. In Ito Rainbow, which I believe to be, again, the version we played, players are dealt a card numbered somewhere between 1 and 100 and are working cooperatively to put these cards in order from low to high. Sounds easy. I have number 21. You have number 67. Mine's lower. We win. No, it's not that simple, idiot. Everyone gets a secret card from 1 to 100, and then a category is announced a la wavelength, like bad ways to spend a day versus good ways to spend a day, with 1 being the worst way to spend a day and 100 being the best way. We then all say something that we think corresponds to what number we have as a way to try to get the other players to guess where we are on the spectrum between 1 and 100. For instance, if I had card 21, I might say having to go into the office on the Saturday of Nerdfest. That's a pretty bad way to spend a day. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
But it would really suck for me as I host the damn thing. Someone with 67 might say something like golfing with your buddies, but it's a little crowded and overcast. So golfing with your friends is probably a good way to spend the day, but it's crowded and the weather isn't really that great, right? So that might be a 67. So then everyone says something like that, and we kind of discuss as we're talking about where we think we are in relation to everyone else. The cool thing about this game is you're free to change your clue at any time you want to. If you hear other clues and think what you said isn't really best representing your number anymore, after everyone is settled, you can change it. Okay, then once everyone's locked in, you reveal the cards in the order you think is correct. And if you're right, you win. And if you're not, you lose. That's it.
Yep.
Things I liked about Ito.
And as soon as you do that, that's your 1 play you log.
Boom.
Yep.
1 logged play. Fuck yeah.
That's why we have so many.
That's why we have 50, because we play it, we rack it and rack it and rack it.
Yep.
Things I liked. This is exactly my kind of game. It's almost not a game. I don't like saying that, as it does have rules and a way to win and lose, but there's almost nothing to this.
It could be that activity thing that...
Yeah, you're just like, let's just pick
There are some gatekeepers
numbers
that would get angry at, this isn't a game.
Right.
Yeah.
But fuck them.
It's very stress-free. It feels like a social experiment more than an actual game. And that's a point in its favor for me. I love doing stuff like this. What a great way to make a game out of it. It fixes everything I disliked about Wavelength by making it cooperative and giving you the opportunity to change your clues so you're not just being yelled at by your teammates for fucking it all up. It's so much fun. The best part of it is it's just ridiculously easy to play. If you can find it, buy it. I bought a copy from Japan that should arrive somewhere between now and 2028. Yes, Jeff?
Can I chip in with some availability of this game?
Chip in.
Or do you know?
No, I know nothing.
Okay, Arcane Wonders is publishing this game.
Cool.
It will be released like very, very soon. Like
The regular Ito version or Ito? Okay.
So I again don't know the difference between Rainbow and regular.
There's a difference.
I know that this Ito will come with the stack of cards with 1 to 100 and then a bunch of categories.
I think in regular Ito, there's a mechanism. Natalie's just eating pizza.
Natalie, girl pizza.
There's a mechanism where I think you can like trade cards with people, or like you can look at my number. It's something weird like that, I think. Ito Rainbow is just, you just get cards, then you like lock it in, then you flip over, load of high.
So if you are interested in not going to try to find it in different countries and all this kind of stuff, Arcane Wonders is producing it in the U.S. There was 80 copies or something at Origins. They're going to be more at Gen Con.
Cool.
And then I'm assuming it'll be regularly available through Arcane.
That's awesome. I bought the Ito Rainbow from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't have it.
Still don't have it yet. It's the Japanese version, but I mean, it's just numbers, right? Basically. So
Get the category cards?
I'm hoping that we have an app for the category card. Well, that's what I want to talk about. So until you can find a copy of it, you can play this with the Mind, which has 100 cards. Or the way we've been playing is you have your kids make some player shields out of construction paper and decorate them, and then just give everyone 2 D10. So I have a bunch of red D10s and green D10s. Each of us just take one of each. The red is the 10 spot, the green is the 1 spot, and then we just roll for our number each time. You can get the categories from a website. Or you can use wavelength clues or make your own, and away you go. And it's so much fun. Things I don't like. This is barely a game, okay? If you want something to chew on here, rules-wise, there's almost nothing to this one. If you don't like cooperative games, you know what the fuck? Fuck that. I think even if you like if you don't like cooperative games, you're going to like this game. This game is that good. My only dislike was that there was not an American version of it. But Jeff just kind of told me that there might be coming up soon.
Soon.
So
I don't know if they're going
to.
Hopefully, in the American version, they have rules for Edo Rainbow as well.
Yeah,
I wonder.
Maybe the Edo Rainbow is what Edo is going to be here.
Maybe.
Who the hell knows? Right?
I'm not sure. Overall, play this game. Play this game. It is so much fucking fun, and I love it. Play it. Play it. Play it. Play it. Play it. What do you guys think?
I fucking love it too.
Yeah.
We've been playing it a million times. We can play it with
50.
adults. We can play it with kids. I mean, the kids, we have like the app, and like I have to like pick every one out of every 10 categories because, I have to make the easy ones for them.
Right.
But like the categories can get kind of like specific and stuff. And to me, I don't know, it's just so fun trying to come up with a clue for your number and then trying to like analyze everybody else's clue and where you think that falls. And like to me, the most fun part is coming up with a clue that's not just like simple. I think it's so fun to like think of something extremely specific. Like kind of like you said, like you don't just be like playing golf with your buddies. You're like playing golf with your buddies, but
the weather's really bad and there's people everywhere.
Right, because then it kind of tells you like, okay, well, someone just said playing golf with your buddies. That's very high. That's a very good day. But you want them to know that it's not as high as that.
But it's still
better than bad. So you can like add all these things without like giving away like what your number is, but kind of giving away what your number is.
Them
you know what I
guide
mean?
To your number, yeah. Helping guide them.
Just I don't know. It just feels creative and fun and analytical, and and when you like get the numbers in order, it's like you feel so good.
It's great,
especially like 1 through 100. Let's say you're playing with like 5 people, it can be very spread out, and those times are very easy. Oh, you're really low. You're a little higher than them. You're kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? But then sometimes somebody says something and you're like, I feel like that's a perfect
that's
clue
exactly
for my
where I
number.
am.
So we're obviously close. How do we figure out, who's above and who's below? And I don't know. It's just really, really fun. And each round is so quick. You just play as many times as you feel like, and as long as it's fun.
And it is.
And it's awesome.
It has never not been.
But yeah, part of the reason we've had so many plays is, we work from home and the kids are home from school for the summer. So every single day at lunch, we make lunch and then we all sit at the table and eat our lunch and play Edo, 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And so it just keeps adding up. But yeah.
And they love it. And as long as they love it, we're going to keep playing it with them.
It's
so much fun.
Not?
What do you think, Jeff? You played this?
Yeah, I played a few times at Nerdfest with, Plurpy's homemade deck, right?
Yep.
I think we used the Mind cards.
Probably the Mind cards.
And yeah, it's fun. And it's something that I wrote down, it's like a conversational game, right? It is, yes, it's probably an activity.
Yeah. But you have like a discussion with everybody.
Because the rules are very, at least the way that we played and was taught, it's very loose about your clues, right? So you can be like, I'm golfing with my buddies. And then as you start to talk, you'd be like, oh, but it's raining. Later you can add those things, which to me it would be like, that's not.
Yeah, you wouldn't typically think that you could do that.
You wouldn't do that. And that's where I think this leads into like, this is meant to just bring people together, to have conversations, to be like, how could you possibly think that doing laundry is better than doing the dishes? But for some reason, that's the order that you put them, right? And then you also get to talk to people about why they might think something is good or bad or ugly or beautiful, right? And I think that's where the game shines, is just sort of creating that conversation at the table that's fun.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something that is barely a game, to get your friends who are also gamers will like it and have fun and whatever. But to get maybe people who don't want to like learn a bunch of rules, or they're your they're not Moniker's friends, they're your Cards Against Humanity friends, right? And you can probably make them. You can make the categories like disgusting if you want, right? Well, you can do whatever you want. So I think that's a positive about the game is I think it'll bring a lot of people to the table. It's probably when it comes out $10 or $15. Take a flyer on it. Or look it up and find a way that because I could have this game. I have Wavelength and I have the Mind. I could just literally
you have it.
Pick those things. I have the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool game. But just buy it. Support the.
It's one of those. It's one of those games. I am like I've said about Strike and Just One. Just buy it. I have no doubt in my mind that you will love it.
That's 2 games in a row. I would just say, just take a flyer on it.
Just fucking buy them both.
Sizzle your sausages, and then Ito your Ito.
God, I loved Sausage Sizzle.
Yeah.
That game was fucking great.
Yeah.
The Gamecasters have a sponsor. We have partnered up with Modern Meeple, company behind the famous Gamey Susan, which is a lazy Susan that holds extremely high-quality board game component trays. These trays are the picture of luxury. Made right here in the USA, they are made from a wood-based material that's dyed throughout with a number of different colors to choose from, and should you drop or ding them, they will still retain that color. These things are so great looking on the table, and displaying them on your game shelves will really elevate your status with your neighbor, which is good because he's been lording that damn elk head over the fireplace for the last 5 years and really needs to shut up. So head on over to modernmeeple.com to check out all the great products they have. And if you find something you like, enter discount code Gamecasters at checkout to receive free shipping and a couple cool Gamecasters keychains as well. Once again, that's modernmeeple.com. If you're looking to get some great Gamecasters or Mad Board Gamer gear, head on over to the link tree in our Instagram profile or the Discord merch channel to see our store on bonfire.com. There you'll be able to find our standard logos as well as some show-specific designs like BDNBF or Numberblind. We'll add new designs as the show evolves and look forward to seeing all of you repping those poop knife shirts at the next Nerdfest. So once again, head on over to the link tree on the Gamecasters Instagram page or the merch channel in our Discord server to find the link to our Bonfire merch store. If you're looking to support the show, maybe consider flushing your money down the toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers that you can use to hinder yourself if you're looking to unload some of that cold hard cash and help us keep the wheels of industry turning by supporting this podcast that you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support, guys. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees, better equipment, blow-up dolls, poop knives, and the like, please head on over to patreon.com/the Gamecasters to help out. Possibly the best way to interact with all of us, though, is via our Discord server. If you go to the Gamecasters Instagram page, you can check out our link tree in our bio to get access to our server. It's a great way to engage with all 3 of us on a daily basis, as well as meet a bunch of like-minded, awesome people. So check out our Discord server.
No fucking way. No fucking way. No fucking way.
And we are back with everyone's favorite segment. I don't know. I'm just making it up.
It's
the
actually
No
mine, I think.
Fucking Way segment. Is it really?
Yeah, I think it is my favorite these days.
If you haven't heard of the Gamecasters No Fucking Way segment, what we do here is I am going to present a statement to the 3 of us.
Sure.
And that statement is going to be something that we are going to opine on. I'm going to say a statement, and either Jeff, Natalie, and myself are going to say whether we agree with it. And if we do, we're going to say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or we're going to not quite have feelings one way or the other, in which case we're going to say, I can see that.
I can see that.
Or if we have strong feelings against it, we disagree with the statement, we're going to say no fucking way.
Wasn't that cute?
Natalie, jump in once in a while.
I know. Why didn't you do it?
We were going to do that.
You just watched
and we,
us.
slowly said it.
She just
throw
watched
a
us.
fuck in there for once.
Well, I
Instead,
couldn't
she was
just
like,
join in with the last
This is
2 words.
fun. You guys are so cute. I know. So, all right, we're going to start off the NFW segment today with number 1. Jeff, your favorite game.
Okay.
Your favorite game has not been designed yet.
Oh.
Hasn't even, your favorite game of all time is Underwater Cities. But no, your favorite game has not been designed yet.
Oh, that's the statement.
That's
This is
the
just for
statement.
Jeff?
This is just for me.
No.
He said
Natalie,
Jeff.
I know.
I did say Jeff.
Natalie, this one's for you. Jeff's game is not his favorite game.
Your favorite game, guys, has not been designed yet. Your favorite game of all time.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. Hell
yeah. Why else am I doing this?
Okay. You're chasing the
We're
next
only,
underwater
like,
cities.
Okay, are we playing games to make your top 100? No, you want to play your favorite fucking game. Some game that's awesome. And I do like to play the fucking games, too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
The best.
3800.
3800. Strike a 3-1.
So, I'm over. There's obviously a lot more to the hobby, but like when I play Evacuation, when I play Woodcraft, I'm just naming Vladimir Suchi games.
You're hoping.
When I play Arc Nova, I'm like, I want this to be my favorite game. I want to put it on top of my shelf in the number one spot. I know Sausage Sizzle is not going to be it. That's a different kind of fun for me.
God, I love Sausage Sizzle.
But man, that was a fun. Sizzling
That was
my
so
sausages
fun.
was just fun.
Wieners! I just like
On a
yelling
complete
wieners.
side note, I got a griddle, like a Blackstone.
You did?
Fuck yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's like a hack that people need to have. Like if you don't have if you don't have
Is
an
it
air
not
fryer,
it cooks everything.
air fryer you need to have, and you need to have like a Blackstone
Yeah,
griddle.
get an air fryer or a Blackstone and you're set.
Yeah, I don't understand. Anyway,
You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah,
A
it's
grill
amazing.
is cool, but you don't need it.
You don't even need
But
it.
yeah.
You can cook burgers on this.
Yeah, but a steak you probably want nice and charred.
Yeah, I want to hope that there is just going to be a
True.
game
I
that's
agree with
like,
you,
this is the greatest fucking game I've ever played.
I could not agree with you any more,
All right.
Jeff. That your take is exactly my take. Hell yeah. Wait,
Hail to the yeah.
Hell yeah.
your favorite game has not. Yeah. Hell yeah, my favorite game hasn't been designed yet. But it's more, I hope my favorite game hasn't been designed
Right,
yet.
yeah.
When I played Maria and I was like, I love this game so fucking much, I was so happy. I wasn't like, oh man, but Star Wars Destiny. And the same with Star Wars Destiny. When I played that, I was like, I was chasing that feeling forever. And Jeff's right. That's the whole reason that was one of the main reasons I play games in the first place. Is I want to find I want every game I play to be my favorite game.
Yeah.
You know? Every new game I play.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Natalie?
Well, I think I'm going to say I can see that
Okay.
because
What is your favorite game of all time?
Come on, Natalie. Stick to one. Tubarinth?
Yeah, Tubarinth.
no. I don't know. I guess
Chess.
Castle of, I don't know.
Why are you saying it like that? I don't know. I guess
I feel like my favorite game of all time is something that will be ever changing.
So you wouldn't be hell yeah then?
Oh boy.
No. So here's
Okay.
my reasoning.
Okay.
Here's reading.
Here's my reasoning. I'm in the middle because it's like I can see that happening. You know, I definitely can see me playing a new game and I'm like, I love this game. This is my favorite game. But, and again, this could change, but let's say we play games at the rate we play them now and we aren't really ever going to go back to how it was.
Yeah.
You just logged 50 games. in
It's
the
like
last week.
less likely that I'll probably find a ton of my favorite games with new games if I'm
Okay,
not
so
playing
you're
as many.
you're
I'm
more
not
on. I
consuming
can
as
see
many
that
games.
because you're slowing down versus ramping up on your play.
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
That makes sense.
It does. It does. Even though I still think I think Jeff. I think
definitely
Jeff
think it's
nailed hit the
possible.
bullseye with the way I feel about this,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
just like that's my whole.
Yeah, that's your whole
That's my
goal.
whole excitement. I should say.
It's what
Maybe that's not the
drives
reason
you.
I play, but that is the most exciting part of Gen Con. Is going and like, oh my God, the possibilities
love
that I
this.
could find my new favorite game. I hope so badly that I find that.
Yeah. I mean, even like Edo, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite game of all time, but it's just so like one day someone just randomly introduces this game to you
Yeah.
and now you're like, I'm obsessed.
Right.
You
This
know?
is all I want to play.
And it's really a
that
fun
feeling
feeling.
is so fucking awesome. All right. Number 2.
Number 2.
A Gamecasters website is a good idea.
What does that mean? A website.
I know.
Yeah. Do people use websites anymore for stuff like this?
Gamecasters website.
I'm going to paint you a picture before
paint
you
me a picture
answer.
of the homepage.
Here's the homepage of the Gamecasters
Go on
website.
the
You go to the
www.gamecasters.com.
www. How many W's are there now? There's probably like 13 W's now at this point. .gamecasters.com.
I've never added
You go to
to
this.
No, start at 1. w.gamecasters.com. And then, in 2010,
20 years later, it was www.
www. And then,
So the homepage of the Gamecasters website would be there'd be a section where our new episodes drop. Okay. There'd be a merch spot. Okay. There'd be a Nerd Fest spot.
Okay.
There'd be pretty much everything you could think of for us. There might be like an article spot where we write stuff, you know,
any information you might ever want to know about us.
Any kind of thing like that would be on the Gamecasters website.
Am I going first?
It doesn't matter. No, anybody
whoever.
can go.
And okay, say the sentence again. It's a possibility, or it's in the future.
The Gamecasters website is a good idea.
Oh, a good idea. Now I'm different.
I'll go first.
Okay.
No fucking way. I was talking with Natalie about this literally, and this is what sparked this because I kind of wanted to get your guys' thing about it. And Natalie had kind of a similar, not to give yours away, as mine, and she was kind of like, "Isn't that kind of pointless?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think it is." But there's a part of me that's like, "This would be freaking cool." I think it would be cool, to just be like, go to the Gamecasters.com, which right now just points you to Podbean.
Right.
Which is where we host our podcast.
Yeah.
But to have an actual website could be a good idea for stuff like we talk about our merch store, like go to the link tree, then go to go to the Discord, you know, all that would be housed on the website. You go to the website, you get your access to Discord, you get your merch stuff, you get your our podcast stuff, any snippets that we put out on Instagram, I think we'd put there too. I could see it as a central hub, but then I'm like, I guarantee you nobody's going to this thing.
Yeah.
That's what my
agree.
gut kind
I'm
of
also
felt that
no
way.
fucking way. I mean, websites, that's not like a thing. You got to maintain it and update it and stuff. And I know you kind of have to do that, but like social media is the way that that's what people check.
Engage with
that's what
things
they're
now.
always on. That's what they're looking at, you know? And so if we put it between like Instagram, Facebook, and Discord, you're pretty much getting anybody who wants to find it has a way to find it if they want to, you know?
Okay.
I guess unless you don't have any of those things. But you can easily go.
But most people do, I think.
Most people do.
Most people that we want, anyway. I like that Jeff's wheels are turning. He's not sure what to say.
I don't know.
I know.
I'll go the complete opposite. Hell yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay.
It'll never fucking happen, and no one's going to upkeep it. So there are two different things. Yes, I think having everything in one central place is a good idea.
Yeah.
Will it happen? No fucking way.
Okay, so you're only saying no fucking way because you don't think it will happen. Not that you'd think that people wouldn't go to it, or like you think people would go to it?
I think, I don't know, nobody buys
You
any
didn't
of our
say
shit
are
anyway.
people going to go to it. You say,
Like,
is
it's
it a
not
good
like-
idea?
Yeah, but why is it a good idea?
So I'm going to say, I don't know if any more or less people would go to it. It's not like our Discord has 10,000 people or our Facebook has 1,000 people or our, we have thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram. So like, where are these fucking people going?
Yeah.
Like the number of downloads we have versus the number of people in our Discord, where the fuck are the people? Where the fuck
Where are
you?
these people?
Maybe they're typing into
Maybe they're like,
Gamecasters.com over and over and
all I'm
over
finding
again.
is this.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like, where's
Hey, Kurt
that
the Viking,
gap?
do you remember making the Gateway website? What do you think about making a Gamecasters website?
But again, is anybody going to go there? I have no idea.
It sounds archaic to me, which is funny because I visit websites every day.
Yeah.
I'm on Board Game Geek a lot. That's a website.
But you're not visiting a website for a content creator.
Typically, no.
Correct.
Typically, no. However, the only reason that it sprang into my brain was we're doing a lot of different things, and I'm always trying to like say,
Give people access
hey,
to
go
it.
to patreon.com,
Yeah.
go to
It'd be
all
nice
that
if-
stuff would be not in just a link tree that you have to find buried in the profile link of my
Yeah,
Instagram
that's true.
page. It would be
Or I could go on there and update
www.gamecasters.com.
both. Like, I could update and I could put something on the Facebook and something on the Discord at the same time. Versus like when I'm doing the Instagram inbox, I have to go to Instagram, I have to go to Facebook, I have to go to Discord. Every time I do the inbox, I post 3 different times in 3 different places. It'd be nice if it was like, here's one, or I can be like, here's where I want it to post. Click, click, click. I don't know if these things exist,
Yeah.
but
I don't either. That sounds
but yes,
like it would be
I think
cool.
it's a good idea. It's never gonna happen.
You're in the hell yeah category. Well, wait,
Yeah,
Kurt the
fuck it, who
Viking.
cares?
Hey, Kurt the Viking, I'm putting you out. Are you still listening to us? If you are,
We'll know.
maybe we can get in touch. Number 3.
Okay.
Now, this one, I don't know if I've worded correctly. I reached out to Plurpy to have him help me with the wording on this, but he didn't get back to me in time.
Okay.
So we're just going with my wording, which might not make sense.
Okay.
Number 3, when playing a new game, the teach is the most important thing.
When playing a new game,
You're playing a new
the
game.
teach is the most important.
The most important
thing.
thing.
What other
is
things would
the
be
teach.
important?
The play,
The mechanisms,
winning.
the winning, the people that you're playing with. You know, if you're considering all of these things is to like maybe how you're going to like your enjoyment of the game, it all hinges on the teach.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, Natalie, you go first. I went first on the first one.
Yeah, I went first on the second
Now
one.
it's your turn.
Sure.
I say no fucking way.
Okay.
Okay, so
For me personally, I understand that a not good teach can make the game start off frustrating because then you're just confused going into it. You don't know what to do.
Okay.
How could that be fun? I see that. But for me, I feel like pretty quickly you're
can figure it
asking
out.
questions and then you're figuring it out. And that's not, I mean, yeah, that can like put a little damper on things, but that is not the most important thing to me.
What is the most important thing to you?
yeah,
I suppose it would be like just playing games with my friends, or whether I enjoy the game or not, like the actual game. I don't care about the teach. You know, when the game is over, I'm not like, well, that teach blew, you know? Like it's kind
You've
of like
never thought that
that's
before?
over. I thought that like maybe during the teach or at the beginning when
I've
still
played-
but
okay.
like when it's over, I'm kind of like, I've played the game now. I know what the game is all about. I don't really think about the teach again. You know, like that's not something that I'm going to go back and remember. I'm going to remember the time I had playing that game.
I do think that that's a valid point. I have personally, I have a little bit of a different perspective.
I know yours.
I know.
You don't know
Let's
mine.
just move on. I know.
I know.
I do.
You don't.
I know you.
I know.
Oh yeah, what am I going to say then? Hell yeah, you're wrong. I'm going to say I can see that. You're fucking wrong, Natalie. I completely concur. There are a lot of times you'll be playing a game, someone teaches it to you, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. This happened semi-recently where I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. But then pretty quickly as you play the game, you get it. Okay. However, there's been a ton of times where the teach has ruined a game for me. Jeff and I have an experience at Gen Con where we were taught Bunny Kingdom. It was
wrong?
taught so horribly.
It wasn't even necessarily wrong. It was taught poorly and in a not.
Oh, okay.
It was
pleasing
like
manner.
it was like Jeff and I didn't exist. He was friends with these other two people that were there, and he was like, there were all these little jokes were coming on, and me and Jeff were just like, what is happening? And he taught us, and we kind of played it, and we were like, fuck this game. We played it for like however long we played. It was like a little demo. And we got up and we were like, I don't ever want anything to do with that again. And people love that fucking game.
It was like a big game at Gen Con too. It was like one of their big releases.
And I hear all people that talk about it. They're like, I love this game. It's so great. And in my brain, I'm like, no, they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's unfathomable that anyone could like this game. But then I think to
it's the
myself,
teacher's fault. It's
I'm
that
like, I
guy's
think
fault.
it was the teacher's fault. I think that
Well, you
fucking
know what?
teach.
Let me just say something. I think the teach is most important when it's a demo, because that's pretty much all you're not playing the whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've moved into the I
The
can
teach
see
is
that
the
part.
only
Are you-
part that's
Are you an I can?
Are you
what
I can
was
see
your
that
first thing?
territory?
No fucking
No,
way.
he said when playing a new game. You didn't say when demoing a game.
That's still a new
Oh,
game.
Lord Almighty.
What's the difference? They're both new games.
Yeah, but you're
Bunny
not
Kingdom
playing
was a
the
new game to us.
You're just playing a couple turns.
I did not say as
Mainly,
part
though,
of
you're learning it.
I did not say as part of this statement you're playing the entire game. However, I do agree with you actually. But I can think of I'm not gonna call out these teaches because anyone listening might be like, well, that was me teaching.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say this, but there's been a number of games where I'm like, I swore the game off, and if you put a gun to my head and ask me why, and that person's in the room, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
anything else because I
Yeah.
don't want you to hate me. But I'm going to say, in my brain, I'm like, is because I was taught
'Cause
horribly. I
you
know
motherfucker.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you fucking messed it up.
And that's the difference between us is I wouldn't write it off because of that.
You said no. You said no fucking way.
You did.
Okay, and you're.
I said I can see that.
I'll just say hell yeah and we'll make a statement. But I'm
Trifecta.
probably closer to the middle
Okay.
than I would be. But I'm also thinking of like I enjoy the people in the game, of course, all the time, no matter what, right? But now I'm looking at the statement is the most important part of the game.
Yes.
So now I'm looking at the game itself. When you've played games and you've been frustrated with the teach or not knowing what to do or planning for something and then you can't do that or this, that is a frustrating experience about that game that will instantly make people and me sometimes go, all right, arms crossed. I can't even do anything anymore.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We won't say it out
That
loud.
sucks. And that's a shitty time where you're like, well, I can't do anything. And I've been on the side where I've taught something and partway through the game, I'm like,
I fucked up. Yep. This is going to ruin
What
some
do
stuff.
we do? We played, I played World Wonders with Dave and Bill, and immediately, like, we were 8 seconds into the game. And I was like, oh, I fucked up. Like we got to restart, reestablish this rule and start it over again. And these moments they're important to enjoy the game so you can enjoy the people. Because if people aren't knowing what they're doing or comprehending what's going on, the people at the table are going to suffer, and that sucks.
Yes.
So with a good teach, and this is why you need to think about the complexity of games you play with people. And, I'm playing different games with my non-gamer friends than I am with people on Monday night for that reason. But in order to enjoy each other and the game, it needs to be taught well, and you need to understand what you're doing. And I think that the teach is that important.
It hinges upon the teach.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
You might not have been talking about this, Jeff, but as you were saying that, I thought of one specific play with you and me and somebody else.
Yeah,
that I
know
won't
what you're talking
say is that,
and that's happened a dozen times.
yeah, and
right?
it's like, and watching that, it's like, ooh,
like damn.
now your play is completely ruined.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
it's just
like,
like,
people mess
okay.
up rules. It happens.
Right. And I'm not mad at the person teaching it, right? It's
No,
just
it's
like,
just
fuck,
the teach
that
is
sucks.
important.
And now I become grumpy gamer? Do I become kingmaker person? And then that's an annoying experience for everybody else. The best times that you have playing, especially heavy new games, is when everybody's like into it, standing up, knowing what they're doing, strategizing. That's the best feeling when everyone's into it. And I think that hinges on the teach.
Agreed. Okay. Number 4. I often feel stupid when playing games. I often feel stupid when playing games.
I'll say no. I'll say no fucking way.
Okay.
I say sometimes.
Maybe not often.
So the word often
sometimes.
is maybe where I'm saying no.
Yeah, we're semanticing there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I do feel stupid in some games. Not all of them,
Yeah.
but some of them.
Some of them you feel stupid.
I feel so.
But
Maybe
no fucking way.
I'm in. I can see
You
that.
can see
I
that.
guess. Like, yeah, but not the word often.
Yeah.
Because there's some games that just don't click.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that the game is, I played Evacuation. I understand what's going on. That's a 4.0. I play Arboretum. I'm like, ooh, look a tree. And I'm like, no fucking idea what I'm doing. I can't get more than like 8 points or 6 points in Splendor.
And you
right?
feel like an idiot.
Dumb.
Yeah.
But there are games that also make me feel really good.
When you say you sometimes feel dumb,
Sometimes.
does that feeling of dumbness correlate to your enjoyment of the game itself? Or maybe a better way to ask this is, do you attach a value to that feeling stupid? Does that impact your desire to play a game?
I would say maybe that's a case-by-case basis, where I will play Arboretum all the time because it's quick, it's fat, it's
Yeah.
it looks nice. There's a lot of other qualities to that game other than me feeling stupid. If Splendor comes out, I'm more like, man, I don't want to play Splendor.
I'm just gonna feel dumb.
just gonna feel
it's just gonna make me
dumb.
feel dumb.
So it could be a case-by-case basis where I do continue to play games where I know that I'm bad at and feel stupid because there's something else to it that makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Natalie?
Yeah, I guess.
How often do you feel stupid?
Yeah, I was like thinking about that. Like, if I had to put a percent, I definitely feel stupid, and sometimes, and it's like a very specific feeling. It's not like, oh, I feel stupid, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like it's like this feeling that like washes over your whole body, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with
What's
me?
wrong with me?
Like,
I
oh
am
my God,
such a
am I
moron.
like an
Everybody else is
idiot?
getting it. You're like,
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And it's like your whole body's kind of like in this weird like mode where you're just like, I think
oh no,
my
I don't know what I'm
brain
doing.
is like fucked
like
up.
you're outside of your body
Yeah.
watching yourself like, do something,
You're
moron.
dumb.
Do
Right.
something,
Yeah,
idiot.
it's not like, oh, I'm losing. I don't know what I'm
fucking
doing.
idiot.
It's like a, oh my God, feeling. And I definitely could, because it's such like a strong feeling. I remember it clearly, but it doesn't happen often.
Okay.
I'd say maybe like, I don't know, 10%. You maybe
might-
less,
you might be a
8%
no-
of
you
the
might be a
time.
no
so you might
fucking
be a
way.
no fucking way then. You don't often feel that.
But when
I
you
don't
feel
often
that way,
feel
it
it.
feels like it's a
But it's pretty
bigger
awful.
feeling, or it happens more because it's such a strong feeling of stupidity.
Yeah.
Can you speak to what causes that?
Usually it's I mean, I don't usually feel that. Okay. So there's a couple things. What?
Just keep talking.
There's
You
a
can do
couple
that.
things.
It's all good.
There's a couple things, a lot of times I feel stupid when there's something like creative going on. Like, for example, part of the reason that I play RPGs or I don't like playing RPGs is because I feel stupid like coming up with something using my imagination, and I feel like stuck and like stupid. You know, like I can't think of anything good or creative in that way. Or even like I used to hate playing Balderdash because, you know, in that game you have to come up with like a fake definition of a word.
Yep.
And I used to hate that because I'm like,
God, I loved Boulder Dash.
I was like, everyone's gonna know that this is made up because I can't think of anything good and realistic, and I would get like really stressed out and feel really stupid. Like that kind of stuff makes me feel stupid. And then like once in a while when we're playing like kind of like a decently heavy game, you know, and I see that you're just like getting it, you know, and it's clicking for you and you're like this, and then I'm falling behind in literally every single way, and I'm just like, what? He's clearly getting it, and I'm just like, I don't even understand how I could possibly do what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, and those are like the kind of moments that I feel really stupid in, but I would definitely not say that it happens often, but it does happen. And I do try to avoid those games.
So it sounds like we're getting caught up, I guess, maybe a little on semantics, but I'm going to go and say hell yeah to this one. I will say the word often is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this sentence. But I feel like it's not, the stakes aren't super high with my feelings of stupidity, but I often feel stupid when playing games. Whether it's for a moment or a turn or while the rules are being taught to me, you know, I'm seeing everyone else at the table understanding and asking questions as if they understand. And I'm just like, what? How does anyone know what's going on enough to ask a question? And then I feel stupid. Or like Natalie just kind of said a second ago, you know, you'll be like clicking away at the game. And I'm like, how are you doing that? I remember specifically playing Great Western Trail for the first time at Nerdfest many years ago. And I was playing and I was like, okay, the game ended with, and our score happened and I got like second to last, very low, right? Natalie scored like 30 points more. And I remember thinking to myself, I have no clue what I would have even, what I could even do differently next time.
Yeah.
To not be in this situation, and that felt stupid. And it happens, I think it happens to me almost gamely.
Gamely?
No, like daily. Like once a game or more.
Oh, you have like a moment?
I have a moment of stupidity, of feeling stupid. It's not usually enough to ruin my play. But if that happens enough times in a game, it will start to ruin my mood.
Yeah.
And this feeling of stupidity is not necessarily the wash, like Natalie was talking about, that washes over her, but that does happen to me sometimes too, because that's the worst feeling ever when you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Everyone else knows what they're doing, and I don't, and I feel like an idiot. I'm not even just talking about that severe, but there's like a gradation level to this, and I think it happens to me all the time in gaming. I just kind of dealt with it now.
Too hard on yourself.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just the way it feels. Okay, number 5. The word meeple is too ubiquitous to trademark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You're hell yang that.
Hell yeah.
Well, like, what are you doing?
So let's talk about this for a minute.
You got. All right.
Here we go. No, you go ahead. No, you're ranting. Rant
Well,
on.
do the background information.
Okay. So, where did I? Hans im Glück.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hans im Glück.
Is trademarking the word meeple as it can only be used in the game Carcassonne. Okay. Now, Carcassonne was not the first game that necessarily had a meeple, but it is the first game that people really referred to them as meeples. Mm-hmm. That was back in like 2001.
Yeah, that's before there was like, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking almost 25 years have gone by where meeple is now the most over fucking used word in the board gaming hobby. But because it's so overused and ubiquitous, it's just like, it's almost, to me, feels like no one owns it. I don't think Carcassonne calls them meeples in the rulebook.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. I think the word meeple was coined by a random person who was playing a game and she was like, oh, these are my peoples.
meeples.
Yeah.
I don't think Carcassonne, Hans im Glück was like, this component is called a meeple.
Yeah.
But there's a Kickstarter that's going on. I can't remember the name. Do you remember the name of the game, Jeff? The Kickstarter game?
No.
I have the article here, but I'm not going to pull it up and spend too much time with that. But there was basically a game on Kickstarter that did really well with the name Meeple in it, and Hans im Glück sent them a cease and desist and was like, "You can't use Meeple. That's ours." And so they were like, "What the fuck?" So it caused this whole stir in the industry.
Did they have like legal
like precedent
reasons that it was theirs, or they just like think it's
they're
theirs?
basically they're just like, it's ours. You know, Carcassonne was the first game that had meeples in it, and you know, we trademarked it or something, and now we're gonna start going after people. Keep in mind, every fucking content creator on earth has meeple in their name. Tons of board games have meeple in its name. Board game rule books call things meeples. Meeple is it's like Kleenex at this point.
Yeah. Terror in Meeple City changed to Terror in Meeple City.
Yeah,
They have to change it again?
Rampage. Yeah, exactly. Jeff, you were about to.
Does
hell yeah, the hell yeah.
Does Hans Gluck have nothing fucking better to
Here we
do
go.
with their goddamn time than to say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sit around our fucking table and we're gonna say we're gonna take the word meeple away from the board game industry.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have
Fuck
meeple.
everybody.
And if you have meeple in your name, you don't get to use it anymore. If you put a meeple in a rule book, you don't get to use it anymore. It's our word.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, get a life.
Right.
You got nothing else better in your life than to take the word meeple and like make it yours.
And nobody's
Sorry, you can't use the word
not
board
say
game.
it.
Right.
That's mine.
Board game is mine.
I made the first board game, so fuck you.
And I called it a board game,
Yeah.
so it's mine.
Hello. It's so annoying that that's what they're spending their fucking time doing.
It is.
Instead of making quality games. When's the last time you played a Hans im Glück game?
Hans im Glück. Hans Gruber.
Yeah, Hans Gruber game. I'd play that.
I wish you would keep ranting.
What
I
is
like
the
that.
benefit of that for
Exactly
them?
nothing.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna do cease and desist letters and they're gonna sue people and they're gonna make money that way.
They're just going to spend
which is
their life
bullshit.
trying to like tell people they
it
can't
would
do
have
something.
made sense on the heels of Carcassonne coming out. Yeah. Right?
Right, not
Yeah.
20 years
In
later.
2001, another game with Meeple comes out and it's like, whoa, we don't want you capitalizing on that terminology that we think is ours.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me.
Right.
But like 25 years later, when
wait
literally Meeple
2
is
decades?
synonymous with the hobby. Meeple is not necessarily synonymous with Carcassonne. I think most people generally understand that Carcassonne was kind of the beginning of that. I think people get that. But why do they need to monetize it? Like, I mean, why don't they? Is maybe another dumb. Like the capitalist side of me is like, well, why don't you just monopolize it?
Why did you do it 20 years ago?
But the non-capitalist side of me is kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? You're trying to own this word
Right.
that is
It's a little
not
too late
even
for that, I
necessarily
think.
yours. The designers did not create the term meeple.
Yeah, that's even more silly.
It's
If
just-
the designers didn't even create that word.
Yeah, it's just like meeple has been attributed to Carcassonne. And I think they trademarked it or whatever they did with it. But I think that word is too ubiquitous. It's too generalized. It's too, it's in the zeitgeist of the board gaming hobby. Nobody owns it, is how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Nobody should own
It's
it.
the word. However, the other part of me is kind of like, yes, now nobody else is going to fucking call
Just 'cause you don't
themselves
really like
the
it.
three-nippled meeple.
Well, I think Catan should just be like, well, you can't make games with hexes anymore. We
own
the
hex,
shape.
the
We
hexagonal.
have now bought the shape.
Hex tiles are
So
mine.
good luck making
Yeah.
the octagonal games. Fuck you. We have a hex.
So we're all in a hell yeah camp on this
I don't
one.
even know what
Yeah.
it was. I am in the
The word meeple is too ubiquitous to trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should not
Okay.
be able to trademark that name.
Agreed.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Number 6, I have strong feelings about a reviewer mentioning that they got paid for a review before they review it.
You have strong feelings about them mentioning it?
Oh, I don't care.
I'm a reviewer.
Yeah.
I got paid
Yeah.
to review this game.
Yeah.
But I don't tell you that I got paid to review it, and then I give you the review.
Oh.
And then you find out after the fact that I was paid, and so my opinion
Opinions are-
has now been colored by the money that I got from this company. Would you then, as the consumer, Natalie, feel cheated in some way that you got my paid for opinion and you didn't know that up front?
Yes.
Okay, so you have strong feelings about a reviewer mentioning they got paid for review. Let's talk about that.
Your wording is confusing me.
You have strong feelings about
Hell
a
yeah, you
reviewer
think it
Not
mentioning.
mentioning?
I didn't say not mentioning. You have strong feelings about a reviewer mentioning that they got paid for a review.
You want them to mention it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
what
so let's talk about it.
You
Oh,
would like
okay.
them to mention it.
Oh yeah, they definitely should mention it. It's the same thing. Like, there's a lot of like famous people or whatever. They'll talk about a product, but they'll always put like paid sponsorship kind of thing.
Okay.
And I appreciate that because I'm like, okay, well, yeah, maybe you do actually use this, but likely they just sent it to you and it's like, oh, if you like this, you know, and it's just, it gives you it gives you more information to make an educated decision on how much you're going to trust their review or their opinion. And it doesn't mean, I'm not going to necessarily make it to mean that they automatically are lying about it or exaggerating about it, but it is good to know, I guess, because that, you know, there could be bias and influence in that review, as opposed to somebody who didn't get paid for it or you didn't think they got paid for it. Then that's like a 100%, like there's nothing riding on it, no hurt feelings, no other thing going on besides what your actual thoughts are.
Okay. Yeah. I hear you. How about you, Jeff?
I don't care. I think I'm just in the middle. I don't have enough like opinion to be like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
You don't have to say shit. But I also just don't care. I don't put enough clout isn't the right word into like reviewers to be like, I have to listen to this person. Where I like will do my own research on games and I go and just buy something because it looks pretty or whatever. Like I do my own stuff with games that I don't care if someone was like I was paid or I wasn't. Wouldn't make me angry if I found out that, you know, I don't even know, that Board to Play was paid to
What the fuck, Joe?
take pictures or not take pictures. Like, oh, Joe took a beautiful picture, but he was paid to do that, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care
Right.
enough to have a strong feeling about it. I'm just like, okay, well, you said it or not. Yeah, it's probably better if you do say it because I think more people, like, it's just being truthful and upfront to Natalie's point. But to me, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's not going to change the way I feel about the reviewer or the
For me, it's
situation.
kind of like when they say that they're paid for it, it generally means it's more of an advertisement and not a review.
Yeah, take my opinion with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Because these people are getting games from publishers and getting paid to review them. That's marketing, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily like, okay, here's a good example.
Okay.
When I go, you know, there's a million products online on social media in your face, and you get caught up in them, and you're like, oh, you know, what's this all about? And does this really work? And so my personal thing that I always do is I will not go to the website of this product and look at the reviews on the website because I think that they might handpick the good ones.
Yes.
I always look for reviews that are not on the website because I trust them more because they're probably not handpicked. They're more what the real people in the population actually think about it. So that makes me helps make me make a decision of, is this product going to work like they say it's going to work? Or is it something that maybe it's not worth buying or trying out?
That's a great example.
You're right, Natalie. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
And
you're
I
saying
understand
is
what you're saying
where
because
I should
you
be.
don't put value on those reviews, and so it doesn't really matter to you.
If we're playing Ito and Jeff's at a 50, Jeff's at about a 50.
Yeah.
He doesn't really give a shit. You know, but he doesn't have
Natalie's at
strong
a
things. Natalie's like a
90.
70 or to an 8. I mean, I think she's
I think
higher.
she's higher.
Maybe she's
Yeah, I
like
think
an
she got a
85, 90.
fired up.
I'm in the middle of you two, so I'm probably like a 65, 70.
All right.
I definitely agree with Natalie, where she, especially on her last point. If I'm going to go buy something, I'm definitely not going to go to the website of the company that's selling the product to
Right.
find out if the reviews are good. I'm going to be like,
They're
give
always
me a
going to be
third-
good. Spoiler.
Yeah, they're always going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a third party review. Now, that is different though than me being upset at the reviewer for not mentioning that, because like Jeff said, I don't put that much stock in an individual reviewer such that it's going to force, like make me do something, and then you lied because you were paid. You know, I get the ethics of it. It's really an ethical question. One ought to tell somebody that they're potentially being colored by by money when they're giving you an opinion. Somebody probably ought to tell you that up front, as otherwise it can seem like disingenuous lying. I'm lying to you. I'm telling you that long drink you're drinking right there is so fucking delicious. By the way, Long Drink paid me $800 to review their drink. Right. Well, okay, it's probably in my best interest to.
I'm not gonna be like, it's disgusting.
This is a piece of shit because then I'm gonna burn that bridge. They're not gonna pay me anymore or do anything else.
Right.
But I've seen reviewers, or I've seen people get so incensed and call for ruin their careers. There was this reviewer, Jeff, you ever heard of the Undead Viking?
Yeah, I heard. I know the
whole drama story. So he's a reviewer who was very respected, and then it came out that he was being paid to do reviews and did not disclose that. And people torches and pitchforks to get rid of it. And he basically doesn't have a career now. I mean, career. He's not like a popular reviewer anymore. Basically, I think because of this whole drama. And so a big kind of movement happened where it's like, okay, everybody better make sure that they state openly, hey, I was paid for this. I don't think that it's like this moral obligation. I don't look at you like you're the scum of the earth because you didn't tell me you were paid. So obviously you're just trying to steal my money. You're stealing from me. That's what you're doing. That's what a lot of people look at it as. I'm not personally like that incensed. I would certainly be willing, if one of you had that opinion, I'd be willing to listen, to hear what you're saying.
I wouldn't say I get
personally,
upset,
I'm not
but I do think it's wrong.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Damn, girl. Fuck.
I think we should probably be closer to Natalie.
Probably.
But
I mean, I am a little closer to Natalie.
I should be closer to Natalie.
Okay. So the last one we have here, this is an oldie. I'm dusting off an oldie classic here from Board Game Geek.
Okay.
You can shuffle one card.
What? Huh? No fucking way.
You can shuffle one card.
Shuffle into what?
You can't shuffle anything. It's just
shuffle it. What if I'm playing a
is.
single card game?
Yeah, can you shuffle that card?
No.
I have to spin it around.
I mean, I can flip it, move it around with my finger, but that's not shuffling.
Oh, talking about
what is the definition of shuffling?
Shuffling is taking a number of items.
A number of items.
A number of items.
Is one a number of items?
Okay.
Do you have the definition of shuffle? What Webster's dictionary?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Shuffling as
it's more than one item, and basically mixing it up, so it's random in random order.
Rearrange a deck of cards by sliding the cards over each other quickly.
No. According to the dictionary.
Well, what is a deck of cards? Is one card a deck?
Okay, now let's
it's
find
a
out.
single card.
Define deck of cards is what I would like.
A deck of cards is 52 cards.
Well, that's a standard deck.
Yeah.
I don't want to say of cards because that insinuates there's cards.
What is a card deck?
Card deck definition.
Everyone knows there's no fucking way. What is this a thing? Why is it a classic? Why is this what's this?
Well,
I'm
gonna pull it up. Can you shuffle one card? BGG.
No, you can't. That's the answer.
No.
Please give your vote. Can you shuffle one card? Okay. The results of this were 33.7% of the people said yes, you can shuffle.
A third of the people were like, yeah, shuffle it up.
56% only said no, you can't, and 10% said it depends. Need more information.
No, 56 is right.
Here's what Sean Conroy says with 134 thumbs. Pick up the card, drop it in your hand a couple of times, then put it down. Shuffled.
No. Shuffling it is like putting mixing it up so it's in a random order.
Jay Sachs with 661 thumbs up says, as a computer scientist, I can shuffle a deck with 0 cards.
Oh my God. I hate these people.
Do these people have any friends?
I can,
They're
of
just
course.
wrong. They're saying nonsense.
Yeah, it's because they play it with all their 0 friends.
Yeah, Probe says, I can, of course, do it
If an effect instructs me, i.e. the effect will not fail and the game lock up due to blue screen of death. This does not mean I have to actually bother physically doing anything because that's stupid busy work. Kind of like when a deck is down to one card, I might as well turn that card over because I could go through my hand, discard pile, play area, and deduce the identity of the missing card. Even if I decide to turn the card over, I'm not going to actually go through those physical steps though because that's stupid busy work. It comes down to your definition of shuffle. Mine permits me to shuffle a deck of 1 or even 0 cards. Your definition of deck may not include a deck of 0 cards. So we have to, it's each person's personal definition.
None of this makes any sense.
Mad.
This is stupid.
This is a question for our Captain Pedantic, I think. We need Captain Pedantic to weigh in on this because this is a pedantic question here. Shuffling a deck as a physical action is separate from the rules meaning of shuffling a deck. Imagine a hypothetical game where you have an ability that says you may shuffle your deck. If you do, draw a card. If you have one card left in your deck, is there anyone who would seriously argue you can't use this ability?
Okay.
We're
not talking about a rule in a game. We're talking about the act of shuffling.
We are.
Well, that would be the 10%
the rule
of
in the
people
game
that said
says you may shuffle your deck. If you do, draw a card.
One card's not a deck.
But then, if you have one card left in your deck, because everything else is your discard pile, would you not be able to then use that rule?
Who cares? You can't shuffle one card.
Well, 10% of people said.
I mean, let me ask you this.
That's probably where I'm at.
When you say that sentence, 99.9% of the time you're going to think of a regular shuffle. Very rarely is there going to be a game where it's going to say one specific rule like that people are going to use to like make this sentence like.
Natalie hates this so much.
She's going to like this comment.
Amazing.
You're going to like this comment, Natalie. Shuffle is rearranging a deck of cards.
Yes.
Deck is a pack of cards. Pack is a group or set of similar things.
Yes.
Set is a group or collection of things that belong together. By definition, you cannot shuffle a single card. Sorry for breaking the rules, but anyone who answers yes is telling me the sun revolves around the earth. Edit. To be even more pedantic, your poll is null and void because once a deck reaches one card, it is literally no longer a deck.
Yes, exactly.
That got
right.
111 thumbs up.
Well, they're correct.
Natalie would make it 112.
Yep. I'm going to go on there right
If she
now.
went on BGG and exited.
Okay, what about this, Natalie?
And give them some geek gold.
What about this? It may not have any effect, but sure, I can shuffle a deck of one card, just like I can shuffle a deck of 52 identical cards, which is the exact same effect.
Natalie hates this so much.
Listen,
This is why we need a website for a video.
it doesn't matter.
Everyone needs to see
what
how
the-
angry.
It is not the same effect.
I don't even care.
Okay?
This is amazing.
No.
I'm just listening. This is great.
It's not the same
the same
effect.
outcome, maybe.
Even though the card, a same outcome. It doesn't say is the outcome different. No, it says can you shuffle them? Yes, you could shuffle a group of cards. You can't shuffle one card. You can shuffle your feet. You can't shuffle one foot.
You can't shuffle your foot?
No, it's not shuffling.
It's not?
What's it if I
What
just
is
do the
shuffling your
motion
feet?
with one?
Okay.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You
it's
can't do
not
that with one
shuffling your
foot?
feet when you're like sitting in a chair, right?
Sitting in a
Isn't it,
chair.
like standing up, like shuffle?
Okay.
Shuffle. This is great. Natalie, you're so mad.
The answer is yes. You can shuffle a deck with one card, but only
No.
while clapping with one hand.
Yes, exactly.
Yay.
Does the orientation of the card matter?
Well, that's where I would be.
No, and neither does sleeving.
Yeah, that would be spinning the card in single card game. You have to spin it.
There is
Yeah, you can spin a card, a single
a card.
card.
Yeah.
this poll, right, that I
You can
just read
flip
to
it
you,
upside down.
has 224 pages of discussion.
Holy Why? There needs to be one page.
I think people just
you
roll.
cannot.
People
The
just
word
went with
shuffle
it.
can mean more than one thing.
This is
So
not a
yes, you can shuffle
discussion.
one card.
What year is it from?
It started in 2016. The last comment was in... I'll tell you when the last comment was. June 1st.
Yesterday. Oh yeah, it was. It was almost like it was a month ago.
If I'm shuffling and don't have any cards, I'll usually favor one of the dance. Okay, this is just not anything. I was just going to go to a random comment and see what people were saying, but they're still arguing about it
Well, what do you guys think?
8 years
care.
later.
I just like how mad you got.
My gut says no. My gut
Your
says
gut?
no.
Yeah.
What about your logic in your brain?
Well, my logic in my brain sees
It's not like a
224
feeling. It's a
pages,
thing.
Yeah.
and I'm like, maybe there is some other way.
No.
Well, because like
I get the rules. I get to understand. I'm playing a deck game, and it's like shuffle your deck, and I only
Yeah.
have one
Yeah.
card. I would just
you
flip it
could
over. I
still-
wouldn't be like,
right.
well, I guess I lose.
can't shuffle.
Like if there's a rule that says shuffle
no
your deck or you
shuffling.
lose, and I have one
Yeah.
card, I'm not losing.
Yeah,
But you're not
you get
going to take
shuffle it.
that. You're not going to take that rule so like.
So you think the act
like
of
That
literally-
shuffling,
answers the question.
Yeah.
Can you shuffle one card? Yes, he is shuffling.
like
it.
the shuffling is shuffling an end
he's
result,
not.
or
He's not
shuffling the
shuffling
action
it.
of like making the cards make
He's
shuffle?
saying I'm using this action, but he's not actually.
He's not
physically
shuffling the
a
card.
card.
He's not shuffling the card.
No,
He's just utilizing the action of the game.
exactly.
A loophole.
Oh my gosh! All these people.
Brian feels strongly that shuffle always requires a physical action and that we all
you go.
logically conclude that we should do nothing because following the rules is impossible.
Well, good luck with that.
My stance is that there is no one correct definition. It all depends on context.
There is a correct
I
definition.
The definition is the correct definition.
There's no argument to this. All of the ones who
There's
would
224
Yeah.
pages across 8
But all of
years
the
of
ones who
argument
who
on this
think that
discussion.
you can shuffle a card.
Yeah.
Their argument doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. What if Captain Pedantic comes in and argues for
If he
shuffling
can
a
give
card?
me a good argument, then we'll see.
Sean, you have a duty
Yeah.
to uphold. Whether you are on Natalie's side or not, you need to
Yep.
take the opposite side and try to come up with an argument that Natalie will accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
All I know is my gut says
I feel like
maybe.
people will be like, well,
Yeah.
technically, if you take a single card and you rip it in half and then you shuffle it, you're
No.
shuffling
You
one
okay?
card. You know
all right.
what I mean?
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Sean, you can't rip the card in half.
Yeah.
It's one
Just
card.
imagine whatever you say, Natalie's going to say it in that voice.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Well, so yeah, fucking banga banga boo. And that's the best segment of the show.
That's it. Nailed it.
Thanks, guys.
Totally.
We have a game of the episode, and once again, thank the good, sweet baby Natalie. It is not created by me. So, Jeff, what do you got for us today, man?
I got a game. I'm hosting today.
You're the
I'm
host.
hosting
You're the host with the most.
We
Okay.
need, I think we're gonna do dingers. Okay, so we need some
dingers.
dingers.
Get
Got
them
it.
We're gonna go
I can do
against
that.
each other. I was thinking maybe you'd work together, but fuck
Oh, I
that.
like working together.
Nah.
You'd rather us
He
not.
only looked up
I
cooperative
mean,
games for
let's
Jenga.
try. Yeah, let's try to see if this works better separately, and if not, whatever. So,
Whatever.
this is a.
I gave Natalie Grandma's bill.
This game, who knows? I make these games up. No one ever mentions them. Who knows? It'll probably just suck and be forgettable. But here it is.
No.
So, or it's going to be way too hard or way too easy. There's no middle ground where this is going to be like, wow, what an amazing.
I think
Anyway,
that every time
so-
I make a game.
So here we are.
gonna crash
This
and
is
burn
going to
or-
be
Your feeling
in the,
is normal.
Yes. This is going to be in the realm of before and after.
Okay.
Do we know
the
the
realm
before and after? Yeah.
Like
it's
Wheel of Fortune.
mostly, if I would say 90% in the before and after world. Do we know before and after?
From like Wheel of Fortune.
From Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy has a
Yeah,
before and after
absolutely.
Give me
category
an
as well.
example.
Okay, so let's say where's that?
So here's
Beyond the Son of Sam.
Okay, like
Yeah.
flower bedroom.
What?
me?
Like a flower bed in the bedroom.
Oh, flower bed
Or is that not?
room? I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, that one's not.
So the word
great.
in the middle is the end of
Yeah,
the
like
first
paper,
part and the
app,
beginning of the next
Dungeons
part.
and Dragons.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So
Got
I'm
it.
giving you a clue. One of the things in the before and after, whether it's before or after, is a board game. The other one is a thing.
Okay.
It
Got
could be a TV show, a movie, a store, an action, a something.
Be
Something
anything.
colloquial.
Something combined with a board game.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. This one, I'll start with one that is not a direct before and after. It's close to it.
Oh, geez.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
I hope so.
I think I'm easing it into the beginning. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You're going to do it like Jeopardy. So you have to answer what is. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, what is?
You have to answer
Okay.
what is.
Got it.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. This Gamecasters essential strategic board game set in medieval France teams up with a legendary San Diego news anchor known for his comedic antics.
Castles of Ron Burgundy.
The Castles of Ron Burgundy.
What
Castles
is
of
the
Ron
Castles of
Thank you.
Ron
What
Burgundy?
I was gonna
is
say,
the
she didn't say
Castles
what
of Ron Burgundy. Okay.
Good.
So that's number one. Okay, got it. I guess I have to keep score because no one else does.
I thought that was
Why
just
did you
the-
raise your eyebrow at me?
No,
Were you
that was-
I was
Number
like
one.
telling you to do it.
Oh,
I
I
thought
can
that was
do
an
a different
example.
one.
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
no,
It's fine. No, it's fine. No, give her the point.
Give her the point.
You thought it was an example?
I thought it was an
One.
example. That's why I was like, go ahead, Natalie, ring in.
Oh, I was like, what are you
I
just
can do
giving it to
more.
me? Like, oh, you poor thing.
No, I thought it was an example. I was like, you just do it.
Well, we'll just do it. I have a lot.
It's fine.
No, we're gonna do 10.
Okay.
So no, we'll do, that was the example. Okay, are we good with the example?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Here's one. This creative board game where players physically build structures with weird objects blends with a popular children's pastime involving making things with various materials.
Junk arts and crafts.
Yes.
Okay.
What is junk arts and
is
crafts?
the whole thing
The whole
Jeopardy?
thing is Jeopardy.
What is junk arts and crafts?
Yes. All right. So that was one. So the first one was we'll give Natalie half.
No, to give Natalie the point.
Okay.
We're 1-1.
All right, here we go. The next one. This space exploration and technology board game, people say it's a tech tree game, and Natalie won't play it, merges with a popular retail chain known for its home goods and decor. Want to do it again?
No, home goods and decor. Why can't I think of what it is?
Well, it's obviously not home goods because he said home goods.
Not home goods. The space exploration and technology game, people say
Yeah.
it's a tech tree game,
Got
Yeah, I got
merges with a popular retail store known for home goods and decor.
Which one's a tech tree?
I know the game. I don't know
What's
the
the
store.
game?
I'm not telling you.
Tell me the game. Tell me the game.
Tell me the store. I'll tell you the game.
I don't know.
Think
I
of
need
the
the
store.
game to know the store.
We'll do it together then. Think of a store. I'll tell you. Well, can we do this one together?
I don't care.
This one's cooperative. The game is Beyond the Sun. No.
All right. How about I say the beginning and you say the end?
No, I say the beginning.
No.
Beyond the Sun.
Bed,
Bath and Beyond the Sun.
What is Bed Bath and Beyond the Sun?
I was thinking the game was first.
No, we're mixing it up. I know.
Did not know. Okay.
I think all of these, the name of the description of the game is first, but it doesn't mean the game is first in the thing.
You're dead
answer.
to me. Andy.
Okay.
Fucking dead
I
to
said
me.
let's do it
You
together.
dinged in.
Okay, you ready?
Oh my goodness.
So that, I don't know. So who got that one?
I guess it washed.
Nobody. Whatever. We'll just keep
We did
going.
it together.
No one's gonna like this. All right, here we go. The next one, number something. This Dungeons and Dragons Dudes on a Map game.
Got it.
Okay, merges, not Dudes on a Map game, Natalie, it's sarcasm. Merges with a disaster film about a comet threatening to hit Earth.
Well, ding if you know it,
No,
damn
let's
it.
do it together.
No.
What do you think the movie is?
I don't
Competition.
know.
Do it.
You don't know.
No,
and-
answer it if you know it.
Yeah, answer it.
Don't be like that.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I don't know it.
I think the movie is Armageddon.
You do?
I don't know. It's just a thought.
God, what's the name of that dumb game?
What's the name of that dumb
It's
game?
the dudes on the map, but it's not really dudes on the map.
Yeah, correct.
What's the name of that? I forgot what it's called. Oh.
Ryan whispered it to you.
Lords of Waterdeep? How was that Armageddon
I don't know.
related? He said something
No,
about
the
a
board
comet.
game isn't Armageddon related. He said the comet was
I know, but the
striking Earth.
words aren't matching up.
Well, I know. That's why I didn't ding in.
Because
I'm like, I'm not sure what the movie
You want to
is.
come back?
Oh,
to
I
that?
know.
Okay.
All right.
Lords of Water Deep Impact.
Yes. What is Lords of Water Deep Impact?
Yeah.
That's a movie with a.
Yeah.
It came around like
Got
it
it.
came out like
Yeah.
this.
Got it.
Okay. Next one. See how this game is flopping? All right, here we go.
I like it. I
It's
think
fun.
it's
I'm having a good
All
time.
right.
It was just funny that the dude's out of that game. She's like, "What was it called again?"
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Well, she didn't know what it was called before, and now she still doesn't know what it's called. All right, the next one. This hidden role board game set in pre-World War II Germany merges with a famous lingerie and beauty retailer. Ryan.
Victoria's Secret Hitler.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
what is
What is Victoria's Secret Hitler?
All right.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thought
Or
it was
should we-
Twilight Struggle. Oopsie.
You thought Twilight Struggle was a.
I guess it's not World War II.
Well, he also said it was a. Didn't you say it was a? Oh my god.
A famous lingerie and beauty retailer.
No, you said it was
Hidden
a
role game.
a hidden role game.
Yeah, that I was just
Yeah.
wrong.
I don't know what our score is. Do we care?
No.
No.
Okay. The next one. This flip and write board game about fortifications in Roman time.
in Roman.
blends with a large retail chain known for its wide variety of products. Ryan?
What is Hadrian's Walmart?
Hadrian's
Oh,
Walmart.
good.
Well done. Thank you for adding what is.
Yeah, you're welcome. I remember it that time. I forgot. I didn't realize they were all Jeopardy. I like it.
Yeah, they're all
Oh
Jeopardy.
yeah, I forgot what it is.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Next one. This I'm gonna do this. Okay. This narrative-driven board game set in a fantastical version of the Middle East. Narrative board game.
Okay.
Fantastical version of the Middle East.
Got it.
Combined with a beloved animated series about adventurous ducks.
Okay.
Ryan?
What is DuckTales of Arabian Nights?
What is DuckTales of Arabian Nights? Well done. Well done.
Thank you. That's a good one.
Okay. This one I don't know. I don't know if you know the game, but we're gonna try it anyway. Okay. So, this board game about medieval knights fulfilling their holy quest using a Trajan-like rondelle, like little slices, combines with an overcooked piece of beef or steak. This is a almost before and after.
Almost before and after.
Overcooked.
So, say the game again, Jeff.
Okay, the board game is about medieval knights fulfilling their holy quest using a Trajan-like rondelle as your action.
Okay, I think...
Combined with an overcooked piece of beef.
Is this TMG?
It was. It's somebody else now. They bought it.
I see. I don't think Natalie will know.
Okay.
I'm almost 100% positive she won't
this
know
was a...
Oh, what is it?
the game. I don't know the... Trying to think of it. It's not before and after?
It's almost before and after.
Like the Ron Burgundy one.
Yeah, it's almost exactly like the Ron Burgundy one.
Okay.
All right.
What is Crusaders Thy Well Done?
Thy will be well done.
They will be well done.
It's
Okay.
Crusaders Thy will be done, and now we have what is Crusaders Thy will be well done.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, back to exact before and afters. Okay. This detective board game about catching a notorious criminal in a compact version merges with casually fondling your nutsack through your pants.
Casually?
You ready? I'll read it again. The detective board game about catching a notorious criminal, what I'm talking about, in a compact version merges with casually fondling your nutsack through your pants. Ryan?
What is Mr. Jack Off?
No.
Yeah.
Is it Mr. Jack?
Mr. Jack, for sure.
In a compact version.
Damn it.
Mr. Jack. Oh.
Mr. Jack Pocket Pool.
Man, what is Mr. Jack Pocket Pool?
I don't know what pocket pool is.
It's fondling your nutsack through your
Pocket
pants.
Pool is like grabbing your balls and
Yeah, you never- you
like
never-
fondling
I don't have
yourself.
You never heard of it?
No, I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about.
I got you. I had it. I just...
Yeah.
Well, he has a nutsack.
I was like, Mr. Jack, and then you said compact version. I was like, fuck.
All right, this
Mr. Jack
sucks.
Pocket.
Here we
I
go.
was like, Mr. Jack getting off in your pocket.
Mr. Jack.
Jerking off in your pocket, bro.
Oh, Natalie's so cute.
All right, the next one. This board game featuring a nautical-themed paper art, origami, right?
Okay.
Combined with a phrase describing being adrift without direction. Ryan?
What is Lost at Sea Salt and Paper?
Yes.
Oh.
What is
I was thinking the other way.
Paper. Okay, this game sucks.
What do you mean it's fun? I'm loving it.
Okay, here we go. Let's do. Okay, I don't know. Again, this one is a this one I think is funny. I don't know if you know the game.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, this board game about navigating treacherous routes, specifically using your wagon to trade goods. Okay, merges with a sex activity performed while driving. Natalie, I'm not 100% sure you know the game. I think you know it, but it might not
I
be
know
like...
the sex act while driving.
Okay. Then you have part of it.
Wagons. When I think wagons, I think Istanbul.
I think there's like something in my head.
The game has like cool lanterns in it. It's got really well produced. The box is like...
Oh, wait. I think I might.
The board game is first in this one.
Is it has road, right? Something road.
Ryan?
What is Merchants of the Dark Roadhead?
Yes. What is Merchants
yeah.
of the Dark Roadhead? All right.
Got it.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
This Viking-themed board game where players defend against mythical creatures. One of like, I don't want to say an OG game, but one of like those ones.
Okay.
Combined with a classic rock anthem by Queen.
What's the rock anthem? We Will Rock You?
Not that one.
I was like, you said rock.
He did.
The other one.
So Viking.
I don't even know. We are the champions of Midgard.
We are
the champions of Midgard.
We are the champions of Midgard.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it.
I don't even know what champions of Midgard is, but I've heard the name and it has champions in it.
It's he's right. It's a Viking game. You were like rolling dice, like a dice rolling kind of worker placement kind of game. We didn't like it.
I got one more.
I played it.
Long
Are you sure?
ago, I think so.
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
Okay.
This board game that Ryan loves specifically.
I love it.
TMG game.
My favorite game.
Purpley looking game.
Love it.
Purpley boxy. Okay.
It's beautiful.
About building and manage a medieval city. There's like wedges in this game as well, like different wedges. Combined with a fast food restaurant known for its Mexican-inspired menu.
What is Taco Belfort?
Taco Belfort. Da-da-da.
Taco Bell.
I thought that was great.
That was
Do
really
again.
fun.
Yeah. I don't know why you thought that was bad. That
I
was
know.
really fun. We had
It's
a blast, and we got
like
most
a twist on Association Station. Feels like.
Yes,
you know?
it does feel that way.
Yeah, I
It's
have
like,
a lot more too, so if the time comes around and people enjoy this game,
we can make it again.
Let's do it again.
Loved them. That's going to lead us right into our top 5, which our top 5 of the episode today, all of us were like, how have we not done this list before? After we talked about it, I was like, I know I went through the list and I didn't see it. I went back through the list because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I still might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we have not done this. As I was putting the list here, we are doing our top 5 ugly games.
Ugly ass games.
Games we love that are
we
not.
love?
Well, it's top 5. So I guess it doesn't have to be.
I took it as like
ugliest
top
games.
5 ugliest games.
Sure. Fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Interpret it how you will. I kind of went through it as games I enjoy
don't
that
like any
are
of them.
really ugly.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
I like mine.
Yeah, me too.
okay.
I like mine as well. Well, we're going to end with Natalie here for sure. Let's go me and then Jeff and then end with Natalie.
Okey-doke.
Sound good?
Yep.
My number 5 is a game we talked about last episode. There was a new version of it called Dahlias. And it's got this clip-arty little bean game, and it is called Bonanza. I mean,
Like a bonanza.
You think it's ugly?
Yeah, I do think it's ugly. I think the art is
I
kind of
thought you
ugly.
thought it was so cute.
I think it's extremely charming.
Charming.
But charming is not a
cute.
word you would describe for talking about beautiful artwork.
You want to be like, wow, Bonanza's beautiful.
Yeah, right. You would not be like, man, I just love looking at Bonanza. It's just like these fucking stupid little beans.
Beans farming.
Yeah, they're dumb little beans.
Yeah,
There's like not
okay.
much color to it. It's just really kind of,
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So that's my number 5. Jeff, what about you? Number 5.
My number 5 is the original production of The Game.
Wow.
Are you ready for The Game?
Funny, that was my one
Because
honorable mention.
I love The Game. I'll play it
it.
anytime. And the
Yeah.
new one with Kwanchai Moriya's art is
Very
beautiful.
good.
And the old one is so
Very bad.
fucking dumb. It's like, I'm going to play a game about just increasing and decreasing numbers.
There's literally no
What
theme.
should I draw? Let's make it like the devil in skulls. And then let's not change the artwork for any numbers. Let's just make them all skulls and death.
Yeah.
Are you ready to
Weird.
play the death game numbers?
Stupid art.
Stupid art.
Great game.
But great game.
Stupid art.
Stupid art.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 5, Natalie.
Okay, my number 5 is my most controversial one, and it's Brass Birmingham.
Oh, yeah, that is going to cause some controversy.
I know a lot of people don't dislike the art, but I do dislike the
I
art.
think people will go
It's-
as far to say they love the art.
I think it's dark and ugly and not appealing.
If you would have seen the first edition before they redid it, I think you'd think it's even
uglier. Yeah.
Okay, I believe you.
Wow, is it ugly?
And it still
Okay, I
applies.
believe you.
Number 4 for me, we're staying with the clip art thing, and we're going OG clip art, Glory to Rome.
Yeah, I was like, that was going to be one that I was going to sub in if somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
If so, it had to be said, right? Black box version, nice, looks good. OG clip art version, it's clip art.
It's bad clip
You
art.
call it
Yeah.
clip art for a reason. It's bad. It's a skosh worse to me than Bonanza. It's got that charm. It does have charm to it, but it's not good. It's not good.
Yep, not good. It's not good.
All right, Jeff, number 4.
My number 4 is a game that I love. It's maybe top 10, 15. But I don't like the Homesteaders art at all.
Yeah.
It just is so forgettable and
It is.
boring and
Yeah.
bland. And it's like, maybe it's like Western theme.
Right. It is.
I don't know how do you make a beautiful Western game? What's like a
It's just
beautiful Western
browns.
game? It's just a
Just
lot
brown.
of nothing. But man, I love that game. The game is so good, and I'm just like, I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's not fun to look at.
Yeah.
You're right. And that probably did it a disservice a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's underrated. Natalie, number 4.
Okay, this one's not the ugliest on my list, but I don't like it.
Well,
It's
that's right,
the
number 4.
Voyages of Marco Polo.
Okay.
I think the box art's really ugly, and like, yeah, the game does have some color in it, but it's just kind of just like meh. Like, There's no whimsy to it. There's nothing interesting about it. It's just like
Forgettable, generic.
generic. Like, here's a map and some spots to put stuff. You know?
Yeah, just like yawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 for me now. I just wrote Stefan Feld. Now, almost every Stefan Feld game I've played, not all of them. There's been a couple exceptions. Jeff has a really nice looking one called Bora Bora, which I think is pretty nice. Yep. I don't mind that. I like Aqua Sphere. I think that's okay looking.
I don't.
I don't like almost all of them. That I've played.
I'll chip in. I'll make that my number 3 as well because I could have just made a list of 5 Stefan Feld games.
Yeah, right.
Trajan is one of my favorite games of all time.
Doesn't look great.
Amerigo, ugly as
terrible looking.
Forum Trajanum, just
maybe the worst.
Stupid looking as
maybe
Amerigo.
The worst.
The two of those are dumb.
Yes,
they're dumb looking games, and it's just like
Carpe Diem. Similar, not good.
Not.
The OG Castle of Burgundy, of course,
Awful.
is bad.
Yeah, it
really
just is
bad.
Gross. And, more recently because of the push for art being really important, like Bonfire has been...
Bonfire's good, but Marrakesh isn't that great.
Marrakesh isn't. At least it's bright.
It's bright, but I
it's very
still
yellow.
think like... Bleh.
Yeah, why is everything so yellow?
Yeah. Very yellow, but yeah, he just doesn't... It's not good. It's not good.
That's good.
All right, so that's Jeff's number 3 as well. Natalie, what about you? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Shogun.
Wow, yeah, okay, Queen.
Queen games.
That's Queen.
Thanks
We
a lot,
could probably say
games.
Queen games.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of older. Maybe that was before art was like...
Yeah, like
Before
everybody
art.
There was
wanted.
emphasis on it.
It was so old.
Not
Before
before-
art.
like, I feel like back then, like, that wasn't as an important thing to do in board games. But it is still pretty ugly.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. It is an ugly game. All right, number 2 for me is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's one of the quintessential. This is an ugly box cover, and it is Hansa Teutonica.
Yeah, it's ugly.
This game is ugly.
Yeah, it is.
Look, the board is ugly. The box is ugly. The components are ugly. It's rich and fucking amazing gameplay wise, looks wise. It's ugly.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Broom Service. It's more like, it's not quite cute, right? It's not like, you'd be like, all right, we're going to be witches and trolls or whatever they are, and they're, you're going to fly around and deliver things. And I love playing that game. It's hilarious. It's anger inducing. It's all of the things that it should be in that game. And you're right to hate it as well. But it's like, just not, it's not good.
Yeah.
Like, it either needs to be more realistic or cuter.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in this middle zone of like, that's not
Didn't really work.
That's not great. Like, that's what you want to make that witch's face look like? That was your choice?
Why'd you do that again?
Yeah, why'd you do it? It's fine. It looks like that? No, you shouldn't.
That's
do that.
bad.
That's bad. It's not good.
All right, Allie, number 2 for you.
My number 2 is Oranienburger Canal.
That is ugly as fuck.
It is way
Good
too
call.
primary color yellow.
That's the yellowest yellowy grossness. That's a...
Yeah, there's just literally
Love
nothing
that game.
in it
That
that
game
is
is
like
so ugly.
nice looking.
Good call. That's a great one. Man, that's an ugly game. Number 1 for me, another one I love so much. I hope I'm not stealing Jeff's thunder, but I don't think I am. And it's Twa.
Okay.
I think Twa is ugly.
said that.
Some people might not think it's ugly. I think it's ugly. I look at that when that game's on the table. I literally just think like dry.
Yeah.
Like fuck. And then you sit down and you play it and you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is so good. And there's so much to think about and chew on. And, but it does not look good to me at all.
Nope.
Jeff, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Kalis.
Yeah, I thought so.
Kalis is
or Twa, I
just
thought.
stupid looking.
Kalis is an ugly fucking
And I
thing.
respect the hell out of that game because there's, again, no randomness, all open information. That game is hard, and you're playing people.
Also
you're playing
before
the
art.
game. Yeah, and then it was before art. And yeah, I think the guy on the cover is the guy that did
He's
the
the
artwork.
he's the one. He's the
it's-
quintessential guy.
And they made the 13 whatever version or
Still ugly.
still kind of ugly, and they dumbed down the game, which I thought was dumb. But it's an ugly fucking game.
It's ugly.
It's not. No one's gonna walk in there and be like, "That's it. That's the game I want."
Gotta play
Kalis.
this.
I gotta play Kalis. Look at
Wow,
that fucking
look
guy.
how great that guy
Look at
looks.
that guy and his haircut. That's what I need.
I don't know what possessed them to ever be like, this is what we want on our box. A grumpy looking
Yeah.
king.
I'd rather just take the person out of it.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
put a landscape.
Landscape,
on it.
a
I don't need to
castle
see
back there. You're
even
building the
old
castle.
castles of Burgundy with that dude. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I
Get off the
know.
Get
fucking
off the
cover.
box,
Some old
dickhead.
Get off the box. Unless,
Fucking
unless again,
dickhole.
you're super realistic and beautiful, or you're adorable.
Right.
If you're somewhere in the middle and you look fucking dumb, take it off the
Right.
box.
Get out
Or
of
like,
there.
if your game's called Maria, you could put Maria on there.
Sure, put
that makes
Maria.
Whoa,
sense.
whoa. Hold on.
I said you can put Maria on there.
Okay. I
But
thought
like
you were
Castle
about
Burgundy,
to
it's
besmirch.
not about a specific person, so you don't need to put a
Right.
person.
It's not the castle of John Burgundy.
John Burgundy.
Natalie.
Who's that?
He's just the guy in the box.
John, hey,
It's John.
Yep, that's my castle. I'm John Burgundy.
I'm John Burgundy.
Hey, Brandon, I'm John Burgundy. You can call me King Burgundy.
Jonathan. My
You
name's
can call me
Jonathan.
John. No H. Just
Johnny.
J-O-N. John Burgundy.
What's your number one, Natalie?
My number one is a game that I specifically remember getting pissed off about colors in it, and it's Tabanusi.
I remember you getting really mad about that.
That is an ugly game.
It's ugly, and then those stupid plastic things. I'm like, they picked yellow, white, and brown, like the lamest
Yeah.
colors that exist.
I remember
Whoa.
playing that, and you said that so many times during the thing. Like 10.
She hated
It was
that.
funny before the podcast. I was telling Ryan, I was like, "There's this one specific game that I was thinking of," and I was like, I could not remember the name of it. I was like, I knew it started with a T, but I couldn't remember
T
the
game.
name of it.
And it was
And so
Tabanusi?
I was like looking through all the T games that I've played, and I kept like looking them up. I'm like, nope, not that one.
Not
nope.
that
I
ugly
was like,
one.
that's
Not
the
that
one.
And the other T games
think-
are really great looking.
Right. I think
Yeah.
all the other T games look beautiful.
That's the worst
That
looking
one
one.
sucks.
Yeah, that one sucks.
It's also my least favorite of them, I think.
Yeah,
Right? I think it's probably my least favorite. What about
I still liked it a lot.
He's
but
like,
that's
right?
still-
Isn't that
I
my
liked it
least
too.
favorite?
I mean, I liked it too, but I think it was the worst.
Yeah, that's and the other list.
If you had to pick one.
With the ugliest.
Yeah, no, definitely the
Ugliest
other.
and the
Do you guys
worst.
have any honorable mentions? I had Kalis, and honestly, Lords of Vegas, I think, is kind of not that great
Yeah.
looking.
Okay, yeah.
Like, if you think about it,
Free art.
it's. Well, there wasn't art back then.
Free art.
They didn't have art. There was no art.
Free art.
What
I
about you?
Guild Immersion Explorers.
I almost
which
put that too. I almost
yeah.
put that.
I think the more I
don't
play it, the
but
more I don't hate it. Maybe
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
having fun playing
But you're
it.
right. It's
You're right.
definitely
That's a good
less artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I
all I
suppose.
have.
doesn't stand out art wise at
Does
all.
not.
No.
The only one I had was the game original artwork.
Stupid game. It's a stupid looking.
That's a great one. Oranienburger Canal is also a great one.
Yeah.
There's another one. What's the one? Savannah Park. That's also
Oh yeah,
yellow.
it's pretty like
It's
bland.
just yellow.
Yeah.
Like that's just a weird
Like, I get
color
you're-
to be
you're
like,
in the
that's all we're gonna
desert.
do is yellow.
Go with yellow.
in this game.
But at least that one is part of the theme.
with yellow, run with it.
It's in the desert.
Yeah, we
Like
don't have any more colors.
Oranian Burger Canal. Like, why does
You
everything
could
have to be so
supplement
yellow?
this yellow with brown.
Yeah, if you run out of yellow, hit up the brown.
Use brown.
Yeah,
Swatch it in there a little bit or something.
I know. If
that
you
a
run out
painting
of
term?
brown,
How
just
about
use the one
gray?
with no color.
Yeah, maybe it's white.
Yeah.
That's what you got. You get your yellow, gray, brown, white. They'll love it. Audience will fucking love it. It's not going to appear on a top 5 ugly games
Yeah,
of all time
well.
list at some point. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters Mad Board Gamer gear. So head on over to the link tree on the Gamecasters Instagram page or the merch channel in our Discord server to find the link to our Bonfire merch store. So, for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody. What's wrong, Natalie?
Nothing's wrong. What are you saying that for?
What's wrong with your headphones?
Oh, they were just like open really wide and way too big.
I wish you'd be open really wide and way too big.
You want me
No,
to be
you'd
way too big?
You'd be the open
that
wide
feel
stuff.
good
You'd
for
be the
you?
way too big. There you go.
I'll be way too big, you be open wide.
If we were signing roles, the role for you is open wide. The role for me is way too
if
big.
you were open wide and way too big, yeah, that would suck.
That would be like the pickle hallway situation.
Yep.
Just-
All right, let's see how that sounds.